What are you wearing?
A Canadian tuxedo.
Canadian
I'm a hockey player. Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
To all you Blues fans, we're bleeding blue with you.
Let's go Blues. Let's go Blues. Let's go Blues.
Blue Note Fan Report. Hello, Captain. Oh man, that came out from nowhere. How you doing, buddy?
All right. What's going on?
Have you got your popcorn ready?
Nope, got my Smoothie King ready.
I got my popcorn ready. I think this is going to be an interesting one. The Blues are taking on the Stars, and I'm having the same problem with my TV, so I might have to go to where I'm going to be way ahead of you again. I'm trying not to. Let's see if I can get it to figure out what it's doing. I thought I had it up earlier, and it decided to not be up, so we'll keep working on it. And I know you had problems last time. Are you doing better this time?
I'm fine right now. I should be.
Yeah, I'm. Yeah, something with the video TV, the internet thing in the video TV, because everything else works, but on the Vizio it doesn't. So I may have to shift to the what do you call it? Oh man, I'm just getting some air on me. I may have to shift to the cable box. We didn't do the other game. We didn't do the last game, and then, I had something going on where I couldn't do it, and it ended up being another one of those where they just fell flat. I know you put a lot on the refs. I didn't. And
No, that game was a game that it was one of them games that the Blues played well 5-on-5 and they lost. It's one of them games. I don't know what type of game people were seeing when they said that they didn't bring the effort, they didn't bring the energy. They most certainly did in that game. There's no way that you looked at the same game and said that they didn't bring any energy or life into that game. They were the better team 5-on-5. It was very evident. Everybody talked about it. Curbs and Joey on the broadcast were talking about it. The radio broadcasters were talking about it when I was listening to it on the radio on the way home. This was a game that the Blues should have won, and they lost.
Okay. Well, I disagree that they were better 5-on-5 because how many goals were scored 5-on-5?
No goals were scored 5-on-5.
So if they were better 5-on-5, they would have put the puck in the back of the net.
Did you watch the game?
Yeah, I watched most of it. I didn't get to watch all of it. Okay. I watched most of it.
Yeah, well, yeah, they didn't score, but they were the better team on 5-on-5. That doesn't mean they weren't the better team. The Jets scored 0 5-on-5 goals. I'm saying who was the most effective 5-on-5? The Blues were. The Blues had more chances. They should have capitalized on them. They didn't. Comrie was good in the game. I mean, nothing you can do about it. It's one of them games that the Blues lose, and they lost a game that they should have won, realistically. If they buried their chances, this game was a completely different story. They scored on the power play. This was a special teams affair. And the call in the first period, it cost them because it was a 4-minute high sticking call. And then it was the right call. Like, the high sticking itself was the right call, but the Buddy kind of over embellished a little bit, like he died. But the call was right. Like, the 4 minutes was right. But
no, I'm with you. The 4 minutes was right. Now you look at that and you think maybe they could have could have did, use some common sense, and they didn't. And I get that. Common sense sometimes, and this isn't to be mean, is very hard to put into a game, right? Because you have, because if the guys don't follow the letter of the law, they get ripped up consistently, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we know that.
Yeah.
So in this case, they followed letter of the law, right? And not only that, the Blues got they got a 4-minute power play for the exact same thing. If I remember correctly, later in the game, Kyrou gets one on that, but they can't get the second one.
Yeah, I mean, it was a game. It was a game. Like I said, it was a game that came down to special teams. They lost that battle. They scored nothing they scored nothing 5-on-5. Neither team did. But as for who got the better chances, who was the better team 5-on-5, the Blues were the better team 5-on-5. There's no way that if you're looking at that game, there's no way that you're telling me that the Blues deserved to lose that game. They didn't deserve to lose that game. They should have won that game.
I don't think they deserve to win it either.
I don't know. We're not going to agree on this one, and that's fine. But
that's fine.
I'm telling you right now, you are in the minority. So
okay, and that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Hey, Matt Lowe, we got Matt Lowe here. How you doing? Saying what's up, fellas. Sister J Day came in earlier, said hey, it's game day, and we got E here. Saying E's here. Hey E, how you doing? What do you think's going to happen with this game? I actually thought Suter might be back because he joined the team, but it looks like he's not back. And then Holloway returned to St. Louis. I guess Shockey had told me that he got his MRI and it was clear. So he just maybe loosened up some scar tissue. That's what kind of Montgomery put out. So with the lineup we have tonight and Bennington and net, what is your thought process?
I mean, they can beat Dallas, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough battle. First of all, Dallas, we beat Dallas 3-1 in the first game in St. Louis. Dallas is not going to want to lose twice. They've obviously had a good season. I don't know if I necessarily predicted. I didn't predict a win. I predicted a close loss. Not that I don't think that they can't do it. I just think that it's going to be a tough task, seeing as we're in Dallas.
Who's your player to watch today?
I didn't do a player on my predictions.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm a betting man, I think my player to watch tonight, I think I'm just going to play it simple, and I'm just going to say that I'm going to go with just Braden Shen. He's on that top line. I don't really understand it. The Blues are really banged up. They're missing a lot of key pieces. But I don't know why Shen's calling to me. I feel like Shen could have a good game tonight. I was a little surprised that they took Stenberg off the first line. I was kind of liking him on the first line. I thought he was doing some good things. Berggren's going to be back on that first line there, but I don't know how I was feeling about that first line as a whole, if I'm honest. But we'll see.
I'm going to say this, and I want you to understand right off the bat, this is not a dig at you. It is me trying to be funny. I kind of went with the obvious choices because I chose the goalie, which ends up being Bennington, and I chose Kyrou. I think Kyrou, and I've been the Kyrou apologist, as you've called me, and again, not calling you out. I think he's checked out. I think he's done. I think he is checked out. I think all of the negative press and everything else and the way people put their eye on him, I think he's done. I really do. And then I put the other one being Bennington because, everyone's sitting there right now. Bennington doesn't have it. Bennington doesn't have it. He sucks. He's horrible. Just start Hoffer. And I want to see how they play in front of Bennington tonight. I want to see, do they put the same effort in front of him? Does he play the same way? Because the last game he gave up, I think he gave up 5 goals, and we couldn't put 1 goal on him. Right? I mean, we tried. You and me talked. I remember you and me talking about it, and we tried. We tried to put goals on him, and we couldn't. There were deflections. There were, one was a really good top shelf shot. There was nothing. We tried. So that's where I went. What do you think about that, bud?
Yeah, I mean that those are good choices. I mean, they're going to be good choices because of where the Blues are at right now.
Mm-hmm. Scary Phantom says Dallas is struggling bad right now. They lost 1-0 to Columbus yesterday. But I think that was in Dallas. Or no, that was in Columbus. So they traveled. And we'll talk about that. Miko has been hurt too.
You there? Hello?
So yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I like the decision. I like the choice. Thomas, or not Thomas, Kyrou should be a guy that you look at because key guys are out right now. You need a guy like that to step up. He hasn't stepped up here in recent memory here. Bennington obviously is an obvious choice. For me, I think it's just come down to the fact that I think that I don't know if Kyrou's checked out. I just don't know if he's I don't know what's going on with him more so mentally than it is physically, I guess. Bennington's a different story. Bennington's the same way that you feel about Kyrou. I think Bennington's checked out. I think that Bennington just doesn't want to be here anymore, and I think it shows.
Matlow's giving it to me. Dude, got to stop with the Benner shit. He's been bad all year. I don't agree with that. Right?
But listen,
I'm sorry.
The people that are going out and saying Jordan Bennington sucks, Jordan Bennington this, Jordan Bennington. No, he doesn't suck. He has a ring. A ring speaks volumes. He has a ring on his hand or on his finger. So he has that. He's a good goalie. He is a good goalie, but he has had a down year. There's no one is denying that he's had a bad year. But as for Guy, he's been better on that. He has not been the Bennington apologist. He has come out here and said, "Oh well, Bennington should have had that. That was on him. And blaming the goalie is tough. That's something you don't want to do. Blaming the goalie is easy when it comes to hockey. Most people don't like to do it, but sometimes you have to call out bad play. That's why I said to Guy when Bennington was playing bad, and I did notice it. Guy was like, "No, Bennington's not playing bad," and I was like, "Yeah, he is playing bad. He's not playing up to standard. He's not playing Jordan Bennington-esque that we know him to play, and that's okay for me to say that. Like it's okay to say your goalie's got to play better."
Yep.
But as for the people that are sorry.
So Matt Lowe is saying I didn't say he sucked, Justin. Guy is a Benner homer.
No, I didn't say that you said he sucked. I'm just saying for all the people, there is people that are overreacting on social media.
If you said he sucked because that's his exact words. Dude, got to stop with the Benner shit. He's been bad all year. If that's not saying he sucked, I don't know what it is. Matlow, come on. You posted that. That's your words. That's your quote. Am I wrong?
No, I mean, yeah, I mean, if you're saying he's been, well, I mean, I guess if you're saying he's been bad all year, I guess you could just say he's not having a Bennington-esque season, which is accurate. But I mean, you could have just said that. But I mean, granted, I guess I'll give it to him just because he didn't say the words, Bennington sucks, because Bennington sucks. For me, if you say Bennington sucks, that means that you're saying that Jordan Bennington has always sucked. He's a sucky goalie. He's never been good, and that's just not the case. Yeah. If you say he's been bad this year and he's been bad and he hasn't lived up to standards, then yeah, I agree with you because he hasn't lived up to standards, but he doesn't suck. He's not a sucky goalie.
Yeah, Matlow says, look at his stats this year, dummy, and tell me they're good. They're not good. But goalie stats aren't always on the goalie. We talked about that. And the game against who was it against? He gave up the 5, Edmonton, right? Was that against Edmonton? Edmonton. You show me one of those goals that you can say that was a weak goal that he let in that he should have had. We went over that one.
I think that there might have been. I know that there was not many. I think there was maybe only one that we probably were like, okay.
We originally said that there was one he should have had, but then we went back and saw that it was deflected.
Mhm.
right? It was deflected. None of those 5 goals were weak, right? None of those 5 goals were weak. They were all deflected. If you're saying the guy's been bad all year, you're saying he sucks. At least you're saying he sucks this year. At least that's what I'm at.
I just,
Right?
I'm just to the point now where I'm saying that Jordan Bennington is checked out. As a Blue, I think he's checked out. I think like you said, I've said it before, the Bennington era is coming to an end and the Holfer era is beginning. And it's very apparent. I don't know how the Blues are feeling about that. I feel like they're getting more and more on that wagon. I think that, honestly, for me, I think that they're running with this because I feel like they might not be as confident in this game to win this game tonight in Dallas. And I think they're running with Hofer on the back-to-back on the second game of a back-to-back because they have a little bit more confidence. That's just how I feel. But if you watch Bennington and his cadence, it goes back to that interview that he had when he got pulled and he got angry with Montgomery about the pull. Just watch his cadence. Go back, like from this point, go back and watch Jordan Bennington talk about that game in that moment. It just seems like a guy that doesn't want to be here anymore.
No, I don't. Well, I don't think him or Kyrie want to be here anymore. To be honest with you.
Well, and Kyrou for me mostly stems me because I personally think Kyrou loves it here in St. Louis. I think Kyrou wants to be here. You know, his emotion from the fan backlash for his comments on Berube were very apparent. You know, no guy is going to go out on in the eye of the public and cry, especially, not that grown men can't cry, but, grown men are not going to go out there, all the time publicly as a superstar and go out there and actually shed tears on live television. So,
yeah, no, I mean, I get that, but that was also 2-3 years ago, right? I mean,
no, and I know, but I think that when you look at it though, look at Kyrou, look at his career. I think Kyrou's had the 2 best seasons as a Blue. His best season as a Blue was last year. Was all around his best season as a Blue, and I just think that the comments that he gets, the backlash that he gets for most of the times for no reason, I feel like that weighs on a player. Like, you're not going to be hunky-dory all the time when you have fans always doubting your every move. You can't mess up once, otherwise you're ridiculed and hated on for so much. And I just don't understand that. I think that's a stupid narrative, and I think that I think Kyrou truly does like it here. Like I said, that emotion, although you said it's 3 years ago, it still holds weight. I mean, I just told you no athlete is going to willingly go out on live television and shed a tear.
Yeah.
For something that they're not.
Who's some love for us today? We got JJ, Joseph Triggs, Shannon Spink. Thank you, Shannon. We love you this year. Well, we love you every year, but especially this year. Guido, Sean Roberts, my brother from another mother, my Army guy in Montana. Aaron Nels, one of our biggest fans. John Hefner, my buddy, my pal, and my Fisher guy, Chris Shaki. There's another story tonight that we haven't talked about, and it's the weather. The weather is a huge story that we haven't talked about because it could affect tomorrow's game. It could affect a whole bunch of games in the NHL. Dallas is supposed to start getting ice tonight. Straight ice storm during the game. And that could affect the Blues leaving, which could affect tomorrow's game, right? I don't know if LA is already in St. Louis or not, possibly. I don't think they played. I don't know when the last time they played. Did LA play yesterday? I don't think so. I'm trying to look it up. Did LA play yesterday? If LA didn't play yesterday, they're already in St. Louis. No, they did not. So my guess is that they're already in St. Louis. The last time they played.
Come on, you're still.
Oh, wow. They haven't played in a while. They haven't played since Tuesday, if I'm reading this right. Yeah, the last time the Kings played was a home game against the Rangers on Tuesday. And then they don't play again till Saturday. Is that right? Come on, I got to be reading this wrong.
if see, but well, and that's kind of the problem with the NHL schedule. You look at it like this. Like I get it, they're professional athletes and back to backs. Well, look at freaking Montreal when we played them. We played Montreal twice on a back to back, second game of a back to back, both times.
Yeah.
And both times Montreal came in fresh. I get that they're professional athletes and they got to battle through that stuff, but you do get advantages when you have back to backs and the other team is healthy.
Yeah, they have not played since Tuesday night. Wow.
Yeah, and they're not playing again. They're not playing again until they play us.
Till they play us, right?
Yeah.
And then we're playing in Dallas tonight. That's not right at all. I mean, we got 2 days off. But we're playing in Dallas, and especially in a game where we could be. I mean, we may not get back into St. Louis till 2 a.m. if we're that lucky.
Yeah.
Right. And my guess, they're already in St. Louis. They left yesterday, or they left today, ahead of the Storms. Right. Let's see. We got Stephen Glass, our buddy. Kyrou needs a change, and the Blues need to move on from him. God, I hate that fact.
That's why. Okay, so look, you guys were like adding all types of stuff to my post, and although I understand it and I appreciate the interaction, there was a reason I posted that. There's been a lot of talk about the Thomases and moving on from Thomas and moving on from such and such. I wanted to get a gauge on who thought we should move on from. Should we move on from Kyrou or Thomas? Those are your two main pieces. Yes, you have Buchnevich, but no. I don't really lump him in. Buchnevich is a little older than those guys. Thomas and Kyrou can be your future. They are your future. My question posed is the guy that we move on from Robert Thomas, or is the guy that we move on from Jordan Kyrou? Because I think we should move on from one of them, because that might be the change that this team needs to head in the right direction, to get a different type of core around those guys.
It's going to be hard to move on from either one, to be honest with you. And
second, it will be.
And I didn't want to. I wanted to talk to you offline about this. When you do a poll, you can make it an option not to allow people to add to the poll, right?
Well, when I know that, but and I'm just thinking to myself, because we're adding the whole thing was the problem with the poll thing is it's stupid, because I could only add. I had so much more in that post, but you can only have it a max of 500 characters. So it goes quickly. So I had so much. So all the context that I had for everything was gone because I had to eliminate so much. But, I said big fishes, and I couldn't have specified that just because of the link that I had for the post. But
there's a way to do that. There was a way to do that. So write most of it, or write what you want, and then when you get to that end, put C comments. And then put the rest of it in the first comment, and then you can pin the comment to the top.
Okay. Yeah.
Right?
But my whole idea was which one of the big fishes should go. And like I said, big fishes, we have guys with some big contracts, but I mean Thomas or Kyrou, because Thomas and Kyrou are your main guys that you gave your money to. You gave the big contracts to very early. And I was on the boat that I don't want to get rid of either guy, and I don't necessarily know if the Blues are going to do that. But if they are, the guy that they need to shop and the guy that they need to have a longer leash for, I think the guy that they need to have a longer leash for is Thomas. And I think Kyrou is your guy that you need to move, because I think Kyrou is going to benefit from his change of scenery. And although that sucks for Blues fans because he'll be good elsewhere, he needs a change of scenery, because if he doesn't leave this team, and he continues to have these struggles to where he's non-existent sometimes, it's only going to hurt the team in its future.
Yeah. No, I'm kind of with you there. Look, I don't want to move on from Kyrou, and I know trading. See, that's the problem with trading Kyrou, is that contract, right? Mm-hmm. Because you can't just eat. You can't. If you eat money, you're eating it for the length of the contract. Mm-hmm. And he's still got 6 years left on that, 6 or 7 years left on that contract. I can't eat $4 million for 6 years. That's almost like waving a guy, a buyout. and buyouts hurt teams. So
See,
you just that's just something that makes it harder to move on from him. So in my mind, if you're moving on from Kyrou, right? So his contract runs through 2031, same as Thomas. Him and Thomas's contract, you would have to eat 4.075 for that period for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 6 years, right? 5 years, 5 or 6 years. I'm not ready to do that. I'm not ready to hamstring myself that much money for that period of time. So any trade involving him is either a dollar for dollar trade, or it's a team that can take on the whole contract.
Well, and for me, Kyrou, like I said, Kyrou is going to be a guy that you need to, like, if you moved on from him, yeah, I think you need a dollar for dollar trade. You need a thing that's going to help your team be good now and competitive now, because that's your window. Robert Thomas needs a supporting cast that is going to help him over exceed things. I'm not saying that Robert Thomas is the end all be all like a McDavid or anything like that, but for me, and I'm going to sound like the Thomas apologist, Thomas gets a lot of hate, and he's got a lot of hate this year. But the guy has put up numbers consistently, and look at the supporting cast around Robert Thomas. The supporting cast around Robert Thomas has not been there. So, although I love guys on this team and I love every one of them, sometimes you need to change. And in a perfect world, I would say don't get rid of Kyrou. I would say keep Kyrou, keep Thomas, and get rid of Jordan Binnington and see if that sparks your team. But
I don't have a problem getting rid of Binnington. I honestly don't. Where I come into is if I'm trading Binnington, I want a goalie in return. Like I either want your starter or your backup in return, and I want that starter or that backup to be a veteran to help train and keep Hoffer going, right? Keep pushing Hoffer. And
obviously, yeah, you would like a goaltender, but the thing is either way, even if you didn't get a goalie, right? Say you got something else in that deal. Maybe you got another forward, maybe you got another defenseman. You got something different that wasn't a goaltender. I wouldn't hate it, because the way you got to look at it is Hofer is your guy. Hofer is already a couple seasons in now. You got to hope that he can hold it down. Obviously, you don't want a terrible backup. You don't want to completely handcuff yourself. But the way I'm thinking about it is I don't need a star-studded backup. I need a guy that is going to be serviceable in net as a backup role, because I think Hofer can be that guy to be the starter, and I think he will be. So it's inevitable that the Jordan Binnington era is going to be over, and the Blues are going to have to see what they have in Hofer. You can't live on the past. Like, you can't say, Jordan Binnington's going to be around forever. It's just not going to happen.
So, for the most part, I absolutely 100% agree with you, right? So, for the most part, I 100% agree with you. The big thing for me right now is, and give me a second, I'm kind of blanking out a little bit. My big thing, let's say you don't get a goalie back. What would you think of signing Quick for next season for a 1-year deal?
Well, I could already tell you with affirmity that
he'll be 40, and he has said that he wants to play 1 more year.
I would love Jonathan Quick, but there's a problem with that, because Jonathan Quick is not going anywhere, because he's already went to Chris Jury, and that management has already went to there and said that, we will trade you to a contending team, and Jonathan Quick has already stated to them that he does not want to go anywhere but New York. So he is not going anywhere. He's not going to go out of New York. He wants to finish his career in New York. So that's not going to be an option for the Blues.
Well, he's also said that he wants. Well, wait a minute. He also said he wants to play another year. If New York decides that they don't want to sign him for another year, that they want to bring a youngster up, does that mean that he just says I'm done, or does he go play another year? And if he plays another year, where would he go? Would he possibly choose St. Louis? And I kind of think he would. So my question is, if it is possible to get Quick next year, would you want him?
Well, yeah, I would most definitely want. He would be a great guy for Hofer, but then again, it is a 1 year thing. So I mean, it's nothing outstanding or anything like that. It's a 1 year thing. So I'm okay with that. He would be a good presence for Joel Hofer. To finally officially get into that role, because Joel Hofer I don't think is like perfectly in that role yet. I do think that he is going to be. He's getting there very, very soon because he's been excellent after the rough start that he's had.
He's still young. Hofer is still young.
He is still young, but that's why I'm saying that I don't think that you necessarily need to put your chips in getting just an absolute dime of a backup. You just need a guy like a Jonathan Quick who can come in and help him move into that official role as your starter. You don't need an excellent backup or a 1B. You just need a guy that can be serviceable in the net. There's a bunch of backups, and that's not a bad thing. There's a bunch of backups in the NHL that are just serviceable guys. They're not guys that you're banking on every night.
Yeah, and Chris makes a good point. We don't have anybody that's ready to come in and back up.
No,
yet. I don't think. Who are the two guys we got? We have Zerzinko, we have Hamstring. What other guy is it? It's not Ellis.
Cranley.
Ellis
Cranley.
Yeah, Cranley. And right now, neither Cranley nor Zerzinko has had a good season down in Springfield. Right? Neither one of them has. Now, Hamstrom did really good in the World Juniors, but he's 19. Okay? I mean, when was the last time a 20-year-old goalie came into the league and lit the league on fire? Right? I can't think of one. It's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Goalies usually don't mature until 23, 24, 25. So he's still a few years off. Zerzinko's 25. I think Cranley's 24, 26. I know they're not the same age, but they're close. And neither one of them is lighting the AHL on fire. We lost the guy that was ready to become that guy. And we kind of got screwed up. I think we should have held on to him and held 3 goalies for at least a little while before we waived him, because there were a couple teams out there that needed goalies, and we should have waited until they got their goalies before we waived them.
First of all, I want to stop you there. Ellis, okay, look, no one expected Ellis to get claimed, and the consensus that teams need. No, the team that went out and that claimed Ellis was the Buffalo Sabres. And it was beyond stupid. They looked like a bunch of idiots doing that because they didn't need a goalie. They signed a goalie. They literally signed a goalie.
They had an injured goalie. He got injured in the preseason. I'm saying they have 4 goalies. They had 4 goalies at the start of the year. So, they had obviously Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen was injured. But they signed Alex Georgiev, and then literally they signed a third goalie, Alex Georgiev, and they signed him, and then not even a month later, they're putting him on waivers and signing Ellis. They didn't need a goalie. They saw a young guy, and it was a smart move by the Buffalo Sabres, but Buffalo is one of them organizations that's unpredictable. I mean, look at their franchise. They've been so bad for so many years. And Kevin Adams over in Buffalo, he has no idea what he's doing. He's completely lost in the sauce over there. I mean, you don't know what he's going to do. He's unpredictable as can be. Who, Lions?
No, Kevin Adams from the general manager of Buffalo.
Oh, okay.
He's unpredictable, and you don't know what he's going to do. So, him being claimed by Buffalo is not all that surprising. I think they saw a young kid that is going to be a good goaltender, but they took a chance. I mean, if you're the Buffalo Sabres, what's the worst that can happen? You're bad. You've already been bad for so long. So
yeah. Here's a good question, and I like to talk about it before we get to the game. Speaking of Springfield, what's your thoughts on Ott? I have positive and negative thoughts on this. I want to hear yours first.
I don't know. I was kind of perplexed. What did they let? Who was the AHL guy? Who was did they let him go, or did they?
They relieved him of his duties. They fired him.
Okay. So I didn't hear. I figured that's what happened, and then I would. For me, it's a little weird. The move for me, it kind of almost like signifies that the Blues are like. I wouldn't say like giving up, but it kind of does feel like the Blues are like knowing how this season's going, and they're like, you know what, we're just gonna have Ott go down there. Like if things are not going well on the power play, on special teams, maybe we need to shake things up for the team a bit. But I don't know. I was kind of perplexed. I don't really have a specific thought on it. It's just like I was kind of surprised when I saw it.
Okay. I look at it this way. It is a huge positive for Ott. He's been in the league 9 years as an assistant coach or an associate coach or whatever you want to call it. He's been the associate head coach for a couple of years now. Since Monty took over, he's been the associate head coach. I think it might have been it before that. I think when Bannister came up, I actually thought Ott should have come up, but he did not have at that point. Ott had never been a head coach. So now with Ott going down to Springfield, he's getting that head coaching time. The problem is, I think that means his time in St. Louis is done, right? You've got Monty for the next 5 years. He's going to get, I think, is going to get a head coaching job in the NHL.
Oh, I think he will too.
And with that, I think that his time in St. Louis is now done, right? And some people are blaming him for the special teams, but even under Monty, the special teams didn't seem any better in the last game. I mean, I know it's only one game, very, very small sample size.
Well, they scored
to get going here.
Well, they scored that was their only goal. The Blues scored on the power play last game.
Yeah.
So,
but they gave up 2 out of the 3 penalty kills, right?
Yeah, it was But what is it? The special teams have not been good for the Blues, and the Blues have not been good on the power play since the 21-22 season, I believe. When we had the O'Reillys, the Tarasenkos, we had those type of caliber of players.
With the assistant coach and in charge of the special teams.
What's up?
Sorry, I got popcorn in my mouth. That was when Montgomery was the assistant coach and in charge of special teams.
Yeah, I mean, so the Blues have had a bad power play for a number of years now. So it's not all surprising that their power play struggles. I think it's going to get a little better down the stretch, here in a couple of years, just because the guys that we have coming up to the system, the Snuggeruds, the Dvorskys, if they can figure it out and move that puck a little quicker, not be as predictable on the power play, they'll be okay on the power play. I think it's just going through its pains. The Blues have never been a good power play team. They really haven't. Unless they had the guys that were the Perrons, were the O'Reillys, were the Tarasenkos.
Yeah, they don't have that. Since we've lost those guys, we haven't had. Since we've lost Perron, we have not had a good one-timer on the power play. Since we've lost Tarasenko, we haven't had a sniper on the power play. And since we've lost O'Reilly, we haven't had that bumper, the good bumper. We've had bumpers, but not as good as O'Reilly was. And also, since we lost Pietrangelo, we haven't had that bomb in the quarterback position, right? So the guys that were supposed to be that haven't lived up to their – Parayko has not lived up – I mean, Parayko doesn't even play the power play, and he should with that shot he's got, but he just doesn't use it enough. You also see you're hoping Neighbors is going to be the bumper guy, but he's actually more of a net front presence guy. Dvorsky and Snugard are supposed to be those snipers. Kyrou is supposed to be the one-timer guy, and none of them have been as good in those positions as we've needed them to be. If that makes a little bit of sense?
Parayko.
I'm at 1833, by the way, to see if I'm ahead or behind you.
Buffer in this fucking shit every time. It's annoying. Jesus.
You buffering again?
It does it all. It does. It's not doing it like it was, but I hate it because I can never go through a whole show without buffering.
Do a face off.
Yeah, you're ahead of me. I'm sure you're way ahead of me. Anyways, this Bennington or not Bennington, Parayko has been. It's surprising, like I said, that he hasn't had a goal this year. He's okay defensively. He's not having the best Colton Parayko year, but like I said, we're moving into the transitioning to where I think Broberg is going to be your number one guy. I think it's pretty evident that Broberg is going to be our number one guy here in a couple of years.
So, yeah, I can see that.
But, and if the Blues, I don't know if they would consider shopping. I don't know how they could actually shop that contract of Parayko, but I'm sure there would be a team interested in a Parayko. If you decided to go in that direction,
2 more years, I think that's an easy contract to get rid of. I actually, think or getting him to waive it. That might be the problem.
We're thinking that the Blues. We've been talking about the Thomases, the Kyrous, the Shins, the Benningtons.
We've got him to 2030. We've got him to 2030. So he's got one. He's got this year, next year, and the year after is a full no trade. And then in 28, 29, he's got a 15-team no trade list for the next 2 years. So, but even then at 6.5, that's still a good contract. With term, 6.5 term, that's a good contract.
Oh yeah, he has a good contract. He has the terms good on it. Like I said, we're talking about the Shins, we're talking about the Thomases, the Kyrous, the Benningtons. Parayko is a guy that you could possibly dish to, and I think you could get something for him, that can help your team. Because I personally don't think that this is. I really don't think that this Blues team needs to blow it up because. We know that this team can do it. We've seen them do it. First of all, they're struggling really bad. I look at this team up and down, and like I said, I love everybody on this team, but this team is a disaster when it comes to lines right now. So many key players out, man. So many key players out. Thomas out, Suter out, Holloway out. Those are huge pieces. And you're missing. That puts a massive hole in your lineup.
Yeah.
So, the Blues are massively banged up right now. They're the back end has not taken as much heat this year when it comes to injuries, but it's still tough when you have forwards out that are in this everyday lineup. It's going to be tough.
Chris asked, does I stay here and be Monty's replacement? I don't think so.
No, I think
he gets a job before then.
Yeah, I think and I think Ott was always going to be meant to get into that head coaching position eventually.
Yeah.
So, he's not going to be here. When Monty, when we're discussing Monty being done with the Blues, he's not going to be here, during that time. So, I think that that's a good thing for Steve Ott. I love Steve Ott. I think he's been a great assistant captain. But
I think Ott is good with youngsters, and he's a player, so he's a player's coach. He coaches that way, and Ott, while Ott was kind of a Berube type, player, a grinder, not a goon, but a grinder. He sees that, but he also did have some skills, so he knows how to deal with the skill guys. So I do think that there's a team that's rebuilding that's going to look at Ott as a coach within the next year or two. I'll tell you a place I think he would do really good at. Right? I don't think that they would take him right now, but I see a place that I think he would do really good at. I just think it's too early for him to go there is San Jose.
Where is that? Sorry, I'm looking at what happened right on my screen here.
I think he'd be good at San Jose. So the Blues are going on the penalty kill, right? And Monty's mad. A holding.
Yeah, and Montgomery's pissed about it again.
On David.
Telling you, man. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Okay, yeah, that's not holding. Yeah,
and guess what? And guess what? Montgomery's angry about it again. This is the third game in the row where Montgomery has been animated with the officials. Another power play, undeservingly, for another team. So, I wish I was on here. I wish we talked about it in the intermission. I wish you would have pulled up that video that I posted on our TikTok about the call that happened in Montreal. On Montreal when the Minnesota Wild player just fell and they gave the Montreal penalty. It sums up this year. It really, really does. I mean, for me, as a fan, I really wish fans like me would come together and call this bullshit out. I really do. I really do. Stop making excuses for these officials who are clearly not good right now at what they're doing. And no, that's not me coming for their jobs, nothing like that. But they're just not consistent. They're not good at what they're doing right now.
Well, power play goal.
Yeah. So another bad penalty or another bad call leading to a goal. And again, the Blues got to be better on the penalty kill. The penalty kill has struggled. It needs to be better. But why are the Blues on the penalty kill? Why? Why are they on the penalty kill? I don't understand why we're punishing players for doing their job and playing defensively. Why? And it's because the NHL wants offense. They want goals. That's what they want. They don't want defense. They don't want strategic defense. They don't care about defensive games. They care about 8-0 games. They care about 5-0 games. They care about 8-7 games. They don't care about 2-1 games. They don't care about 1-0 games. That's not how it is anymore.
You know what, Justin?
Don't give me shit. Don't give me shit.
Huh?
Don't give me shit. Don't give me shit. You know I'm right.
I would do.
You can give it to me, but I ain't gonna listen because I'm not defending that. I'm not defending that. No, I'm not defending. I'm not giving the refs.
We got our videos up. Which video are you talking about?
What I posted it on the story. It was just go look it up. It was the Montreal freaking penalty that happened in Montreal. Go look at it. Tell me that's good officiating, guy. Go tell me. Give me an excuse on why that's a good call. Go watch it.
Here's my problem, right? They're humans, okay? They make mistakes, and that's why they have the quote unquote makeup call. But to sit there and say that the NHL is purposely making these guys make these calls, I have a problem. I don't think that's so.
Did that ever come out of my mouth? Did I ever say that? Did that saying ever come out of my mouth? Did I ever say? No. You're putting words in my mouth again, and that's annoying to me. That's annoying to me.
Hold on. You said the NHL wants high-scoring games. Well, in order to get that, they want the referees to make those type of calls to make it power plays to get those scores. So yes, that's exactly what you're saying. I'm sorry, you can read between the lines on it.
They do want high scoring games. If you haven't been watching this year, you're clearly not paying attention. How many high scoring games are in the NHL this year? You're clearly not watching if you think that's not accurate.
I think, you know what? I did see this play. I think I did see this play where the guy was going backwards and fell, and there was nobody to touch.
But he's human, right? No one near him. But he's human, so he's okay to make that call.
where the referee's at, that might not have been what he saw. Where the
It's in the open ice. It's an open ice in the middle of the ice.
But you know what, Justin? His view could have been obstructed. You don't know that.
Oh my goodness.
My problem
There's
is
no way.
with that you can't go back and review them. That you don't have that fifth guy that can can say, "Hey, wait a minute, not what it is." Because there's also been times, and I remember this a couple of years ago. I think it was Tyler Bozak fell down. They called a trip. He went to the official and said, "Hey, that wasn't a trip. I fell."
You're talking about
I put that on the player for not going and saying, "Hey, I tripped over my own feet."
Yeah, because the guy who's getting the beneficial of the call is going to go to the referee and say, "Oh, well, yeah, I just fell." Yeah, do you really think the embellishment has been a thing in this league for freaking years now? Do you really think that the NHL player is going to have some human decency and say, "Oh, I tripped myself. I didn't get tripped"? No, he's not going to do that. They didn't teach him to do that. They taught him to take the garbage ass call and run with it. Whatever. Like I said, whatever. I'm not gonna win this argument. You're gonna make an excuse on why that is a human call. You're talking about this as if there's one official on the ice. There's 4 officials. You're telling me that 4 officials didn't see this guy fall in the middle of the ice? You're telling me 4 guys didn't see this? There's no way.
I need to take a break.
No way. There is no way. Okay, anybody who saw this play, I want you to go and watch this on Sportsnet, okay? Sportsnet posted this, I believe, on Instagram, Twitter. There is no way that you look at this play, okay? There's no way that you look at that play in middle ice at the blue line, and Guy is talking about this play as if it's one official on the ice. There's not one official on the ice. There is 4 officials on the ice. So you're telling me not one of them saw that call and why it was not a penalty? Don't you think that, yeah, you're human, but we're not even talking about this call that just happened. He just told me himself that this holding call on the Blues player, Bush, was not a holding call. It should have never been called, but it was called. I don't understand why we are making excuses for officials. I get it. You are human. People make mistakes. But you have 4 guys on the ice. If they can't come together and communicate and be a cooperative team, then we got a problem. We really do. And what is it, Steve? I don't know if Steve's in here, but Steve, I know that you talk about all the time, like, hey, the refs got to be better. Or you're like, the Blues got to kill the penalty, and I agree with you. The Blues penalty killing has been atrocious, but it still doesn't change the fact that they shouldn't have been on the penalty kill to begin with. I get the whole consensus. Oh, they got to be better on the penalty kill, but they shouldn't have been on the penalty kill to begin with. If they weren't on the penalty kill, it would have been no issue. And you're saying you don't have no clue what the rest. But the thing is I don't know what this is referring to. It's easy to see. I don't know. I don't know if you're talking about the Bush one or you're talking about the Montreal one. If you're talking about the Montreal one, I'm sorry. This play happened at the blue line. The Minnesota player came into the zone, skating backwards, I believe it was, and fell in the middle of the ice. The middle of the ice. I get what you're saying about with not seeing, not having the angle. Maybe one official doesn't have the angle, but as for that's one official. There's 4 officials on the ice. There's no way that all 4 officials had their vision obstructed. There's no way. That's when they got to come together.
What I would love to see, and I wish the NHL would go to this, is put on the helmet cams, and then when there's a penalty called, whichever umpire or referee calls it, you see it from his perspective. I would love to see that.
I bet a lot of people would.
I mean, yeah, and you could, and I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying that he doesn't see something different. But you were talking about that play as if it was one official. There's 4 guys on the ice. There's no reason they should not be coming together and talking about that.
You know what? Here you go. That official that only 2. See here, there's 4 officials on the ice, but only 2 can call penalties, right? And believe it or not, 3 of those guys could say, I didn't see the trip, and the guy that had it saw it said, you know what? Well, I did, so that's a trip. So, you know, it comes down to that, right? You don't know what he saw, and that's what I'm trying to get at. I understand bad calls. They're going to happen in every single sport. In fact, there's going to be bad calls this weekend in the NFL. In fact, we're still talking about the one against, what was it, Buffalo and Denver? What was it? With the interception one?
Buffalo got screwed in the playoffs. They got massively screwed. But we get it. We understand there's bad calls. But I'm saying that this is a consistency problem. I'm not even on the Blues one. That one was bad enough as it is. That was not a holding, and you even told me it wasn't a holding. That was not a holding call. And they call a holding.
No,
but
it wasn't a holding call. Or at least it didn't seem like a holding call. However, have an advantage they don't have. We're seeing it from a bird's eye view. They're seeing it on ice level. On ice, things look different. Things look completely different on ice level. Shockey, where are you? I need your help, buddy. You can help me out here.
Well, you know, and I'll ask Shockey if he comes in here and I would love to get his idea or his thoughts on that call in Montreal. Like I said, I'm not even talking about this Blues one. I'm talking about the Montreal one.
Right.
So I'm very interested to see what actual people's thoughts. There's like I said,
on the power play now.
Wyatt Johnston. Here we go. Let's see.
Flashing on Johnston. All I'm getting at, Justin, and what I'm trying to say is, first of all, I do not believe in conspiracy theories. I do not. Right? It takes way too many people for a conspiracy to work, and there's no way that many people keep quiet. You know what? I think it was Mark Twain who said, 3 people can keep a secret as long as 2 of them are dead. Right? So for there to be this huge conspiracy theory where the NHL says, you need to call this, you need to call that. I'm sorry, I have a little problem with it, right? And we may have,
what's happened?
We may have lost some streaming on your account and one other account. I'm not sure.
What are we talking about?
Look on your Facebook page and see if the stream is still on your Facebook page.
I think so. What do you mean? Is it on my Facebook page? Like my personal Facebook page?
Yeah, your personal Facebook page. It's going there now.
Oh yeah. It's saying it's saying I was live. Oh wait, no.
Was live.
Yeah, it was live. I don't know why it would have ended.
Yeah, so I'm gonna remove it and restart it.
Well, no. Wait, hey. Oh yeah, no, it isn't. I don't. Why would it stop?
Something happened. It's trouble streaming to Facebook. This may be on Facebook's end.
Oh, okay.
It's still streaming online and a couple others. I'll just remove yours and restart it. The other one we get hardly know anybody on Coast to Coast, so I'll just remove Coast to Coast. I won't delete it, but and then I'll remove yours.
Power play shots 29, Pavel with 29, Jordan Kyrou with 23.
And then I'll repost it on yours. It'll repost here shortly. I'm working on it. Oh, I took it off BlueNote. Actually, it was BlueNote Fan Report that wasn't going on, I think.
Well, it's mine because it says was live.
Yeah, so I took the wrong one off. I used your and my picture for the BlueNote Fan Report, and I think it's too similar to your picture, so I got to change that. because I get them confused.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just kept that one because I like that one, so that's a good one.
Yeah, I understand. It's just for me, I get confused. So I need to. I wanted to put both of our pictures together on the BlueNote Fan Report because I had the logo, but now I think I need to go back to like a logo because I couldn't. I get them mixed up and I end up not putting it to the right one or deleting the wrong one. So looks like it's back now. You should be live again. No, there's an issue because it wouldn't take it live.
Okay, so yeah, maybe it's just a Facebook thing.
Yeah, there's a Facebook thing, but we are live on. No, we're live on yours. We're not live on BlueNote Fan Report. I need to be live. Looks like Dvorsky.
Ooh,
Dvorsky one timer.
very good movement there by the Blues on the power play. Way to get a goal. That second game in a row where the Blues get a power play goal. Way to go. I think first shot of the game for the Blues. I don't know if that's the first attempt. I don't think it's the first attempt. I think it's just first shot on that because they have had attempts, I think. Let's see. I didn't see it. We had Kyrou doing good things, getting in on the forecheck, turns the puck over.
Oh, nice shot.
Yep, Kyrou gets that puck, forces that to Bush. Bush makes a good play. Bush with a heads-up play with the bumper and then heads over to Dvorsky with a great shot. So, good goal on the power play.
Yep. Makes it 1-1 with 8:10 to go.
Good goal by the Blues. Oh, wow. That was... Oh, very good try by Pareko right there.
Yeah, the BlueNote Fan Report's not working.
Is it because you only get a certain number of...
No, I have 8. I have 8, and it should be okay. I'll try one more time. The thing is, we do get views from the BlueNote Fan Report.
Well, like I said, if you needed to, you could. If it doesn't allow you to, if you were able to, if I was not able to go live on mine, but if you could get it back on the BlueNote Fan, that's fine too. And then we can just figure it out later.
Looks like we did go live on BlueNote Fan Report. Okay, we're good.
Okay, good. Yeah, want to get all them lives on there. Try to get the best you can. Yep.
So hopefully we'll get it back. By the way, just because me and Justin argue doesn't mean that we don't like it went away again. So something's going on with Facebook. Just not going to deal with it right now. When me and Justin argue, we're still friends. We're just, we have differences of opinions. We're both passionate guys. We put it out there, but we're both smart enough to know when it's time to take a quick break from each other and then come back at it. I went and filled my soda up and took a breath, and we're good. And I just want everybody to know that we're not gonna slit each other's throat after the game.
No, we're fine. Like I said, we have differences of opinions. And Guy does agree with me. He has said with me that there's a consistency problem, and there is a consistency problem with the officials in the league. I
don't have a problem saying there's a consistency problem with the referees, because I think there's a consistency problem in all 4 sports when it comes to official. Where I have the problem is you don't say it's a conspiracy theory, but you're saying it between the lines. And that's where I have the problem. Right? And that's where I stick up for the league, because I don't. Now, does the league like higher scoring games? They do. Why? Because people, chicks dig the long ball. People like offense. I get that.
Yeah.
But do I feel like there is a mandate out there where the league tells officials we want more power plays? And I don't know if there have been more power plays per game this year than in past. I don't know that. I know that there's a way to look it up. I don't have that access.
Well, and I'm not saying that they're having these officials go out there and make these calls, because, like you said, there is a human element to it. They do make wrong calls, and they are human, but I'm talking about the really, really outlandish calls that, like you said, yes, you have two guys that can call it. Yeah, you don't know the view that they have sometimes, but there has been some, and it's not just the Blues games. Like I said, I pointed out the Montreal one. There's been some really, really, really bad ones, and we talked about this a couple weeks ago, even with Lance on the show. Me and Lance are in the same boat on this one. I don't know if you're fully in on it yet, but I think there is betting going on in the NHL. I really do. And that is, if there's any conspiracy that I'm going with, it's that one, that there's betting in the league. That's my only conspiracy.
Okay. And while I'm not completely on board with that, not completely, right? I understand where you're coming at. Tad doesn't like us talking about this. Sorry, bud. Well, we're in a commercial right now. As soon as the game comes back, we'll go back to the game.
Yeah, we'll go back to the game.
And I'm sorry. I've been dealing with the head cold for 2 weeks now, and I've got the hacks right now, so I'm doing the best I can. Looks like the game's coming back on, so we'll go back to that.
Yeah, we'll go back to the game. We like to have banter. I mean, when nothing's going on much in the game, we like to kind of banter back and forth and get some different topics. But what, the shot?
Yeah, it actually goes in his glove and out of his glove.
Oh wow, that's speaking of unlucky and lucky for the Blues.
But I actually think when it's in his glove, it's actually still in the net.
It might be. But if the angle, I didn't see if they showed the angle from like the goal line angle that they have.
Yeah, they didn't show the goal line, but the angle that they showed it from, it kind of looked to me like it would have been in the net anyways. Yeah,
it might have. But yeah, unfortunate for Ottinger. I'm a big Ottinger guy. Ottinger is a very, very good goalie.
Yeah. This is the matchup I wanted to see last year in round 2. This is the matchup, Bennington and Ottinger. Oh my God, would have been a hell of a series.
Oh, it would have fit.
Talk about almost no goals. No goals. Yeah. No goal. That's what that series would have been.
It would have been a fantastic. Put it this way, it would have been a better series than what we ended up actually getting.
Yeah.
With the Jets and the Stars. Yeah, and it's kind of weird. It's kind of crazy. Dallas. Honestly, I've had a lot of good interactions with Dallas Stars fans. Some are definitely out there, but as for Dallas, I feel like they have kind of a healthy respect for the Blues and their Blues fans. I feel like there's always just a good banter between Dallas and St. Louis fans. They're just very competitive towards one another, but like they're not like overly competitive and like rude about it.
Yeah. Looks like Kyrou may be getting that goal. He might have tipped it.
It kind of, I don't know. It kind of looked like he had something there, but he started that play. Kyrou with a good forecheck was the reason that all play developed.
Yeah. No, he's getting an assist. Right now they have Kyrou with an assist. The secondary assist, Kyrou, Bushnevich, and Dvorsky, but it could switch. So we'll keep an eye on that.
It could switch.
Looking at the official score sheet.
Yeah, the only thing that would switch is if they do switch it, it'll be Kyrou's goal with Dvorsky and assist.
Yeah.
So I mean, either way, it doesn't really matter. It was a great play all around. Every guy in that sequence pretty much touched the puck. I think besides one guy. So.
Yeah, Rowan Rutherford says that it looked like on the replay, it appears Kyrou tipped it.
What's up?
When Dr. Detroit says, when does Robert Thomas get traded to the first place Red Wings? When hell freezes over and I get a girlfriend.
See, I mean, Detroit would be definitely a great place for him to go because they already have a great center in Larkin. But I'm telling you right now, these Thomas rumors are just Thomas rumors, man. Tom, if you're trading Thomas, you better be getting a haul for him. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and
So,
I don't think Detroit has enough.
I don't think they do either. And Detroit for me is someone I'm still iffy on. I'm still not 100% sold on Detroit either because they should have been good for so long now, and they just are now having a good season. So
I have been kicked off almost every Facebook page but yours.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
See if I can get it's something with Facebook.
I am seeing. I think is that what that message?
Yeah, that's what the message is up top. Trying to put it back on my page. At least put it back on my page.
I think that might be the message. What I'm seeing on my screen right now. It's
Yeah,
like,
the red message. That's what it is.
Yeah.
He said, "We've got the goods and 28 million in cap. I don't think you have enough goods. I don't think you. I mean, what are you going to give us for Robert Thomas? I mean, do you have 4 in equivalent first round picks? Because that's what I think Thomas is worth, if not more. Do you have that? Are you willing to give up Larkin?
Do you have one I want to say, do you have a center? Do you have a center that you can replace Robert Thomas with? There's no way I'm trading Robert Thomas, your best center, for a non-center. I mean if he's a good player, I mean obviously I wouldn't mind, but you need a center. A team needs a number one guy, a number one center. And Dvorsky's not that yet. Shen is not that. Shen probably is going to be dished at the deadline. You're going to be running into some problems with some centers because you won't have any if you trade Robert Thomas. So, I mean, you have Suter. Suter's great, but Suter's not going to be your number one center. Although I love the guy, I think he's been the most consistent Blue this year. Despite the points and stuff like that. But he's never been an 80-point guy or anything like that. But he's a consistent guy that can help you. But yeah, you need a center. You need a number one center. But believe me, I'm going to go out there and be confident, and I'm going to be bold and say that the Blues are not getting rid of Robert Thomas.
Yeah, I'm with you. I know what Frank Cervelli put out there. But when you really read into what he put out there, you can tell it's speculation that he doesn't know, right? Mm-hmm. Because at the very end of it, he says they have to do something, right? Well, wait a minute. That right there is you making an assumption, right?
Yeah.
So to sit there and say that they're listening to offers and all. Now at that point, as soon as you put that last thing in there, I know you're full of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You saying
part to me. Like, as soon as I read that where I went, I don't know. And Cervelli's been wrong as much as he's been right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, when you put out a line like that, like you said, that pretty much throws out your post or your form or whatever saying that, they're looking for options for him. But then you say the Blues got to do something, which is almost implying that your whole post is pretty much an opinion that the Blues should trade Robert Thomas.
Yeah, that's the way I looked at it. So you and me are on the same page there, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Going to first. The Blues have only had 3 shots. The offense has been such a huge freaking problem this year.
It has been.
It's so surprising to me how bad of a problem it's been.
It has been a surprise, but and this is another thing, and I hate to harp on it. This is another reason that I am not as big of a hater on Robert Thomas this year, because when Robert Thomas is in the lineup, he's creating chances. Yeah, the Blues have had a down year. He's had a down year. Robert Thomas has never been a guy that scores a lot of goals. He hasn't. He should shoot a bit more sometimes, but he's a guy that generates a lot of offensive chances when he's on the ice. So when he's not on the ice, it is a struggle for the Blues to find offense. It really is. And it shows. That's why I'm not all in favor of getting rid of Thomas. I think he needs a longer leash.
And by the way, guys, we're dealing with some Facebook issues. So if you're having trouble finding the show, I apologize. There's not much I can do about it. I'm trying to keep it started and going, but I only get there. Parayko getting an extension or trade on. Well, he's still got 5 years left, so he's not getting an extension. Right? He's not getting an extension. And but could they move on from him? Yes, I think they could. Right? To me, I mean, if I'm Doug Armstrong, I'm not gonna and we're having a rough year. If I'm the GM, and I have guys that I know I'm not trading no matter what, or it's got to be a massive overpay. And on top of that, I need to motivate my team. Well, one of the ways I'm going to motivate my team is say nobody's safe. When in all actuality, I know there are players that aren't safe. And I think I'd be a good GM. I really do. Right? I really do. I've only, in my fantasy league, I've made a few mistakes, but I've also gotten some decent players through my trades. All right. I picked up a guy for a very, very late 3rd round pick, and we only have 3 rounds that I shouldn't have because I misread who it was. And okay, yeah, I made a mistake. But overall, they've made many trades recently, have they? I mean, I know they made a couple, but not a lot. I just think that right now, I think that Kyrou, Thomas, and maybe Parayko are safe. Bushnevich might be safe because they just signed that extension, and it might be really, really hard to train a guy that just signed an extension with all that term. And the other thing is, a lot of teams don't know what, especially when it comes to guys that have a lot of term, what the cap is going to be. And because of that, it makes it harder to trade guys with terms. I mean, I remember one year they said the cap was going to go up like $5 million, and it went up $1 million. Right? So a lot of teams got hamstrung. The Blues were one of them. So that's why I'm concerned about that. Trying to stay warm. I'm freezing. Not looking forward to snow. Well, yeah, everybody in the from the Midwest onto the East Coast, please be safe this weekend. Got a massive winter storm coming through there. I know what they're like. I haven't been in one in a long time, but I know what they're like. Please be safe. Please be careful. We're thinking about you with that going on. So at the end of one, the score is 1-1. Shots were 10-3 in favor of Dallas. Overall, the Blues had 11 attempts and Dallas had 18. That's actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought Dallas would have a lot more attempts. Dallas only had 8 shots that weren't on the net of their 18 attempts. The Blues had 7 that weren't on the net out of their 11, so that would be a better number. Blues 12 hits, Dallas 6. St. Louis 4 giveaways, Dallas 4. St. Louis had 2 takeaways, Dallas had 1. The Blues blocked 4 shots, Dallas blocked 3. Dallas won the face-off battle 12-7 for 63% to 37%. Got it? Got to get offense going. That's what it comes down to. Get the offense going.
Yeah, they definitely need to get the offense going for sure. Not as obviously the shots are 10-3. I think the period as a whole, could have been way worse. It wasn't a horrendous period. It was a period that they definitely need to get in the zone and get more shots on net. But I'm not heated about what I saw in the first period, if that makes sense.
Ryan Green throws the political stuff, global warming. You know what, Ryan? This winter storm is 3 weeks late. So just remember that. Normally we have these winter storms like this one in December and early January, not late January. So remember that, buddy. Matthew Lips, hey Lips. And Ryan Green, thank you. And Stephen Glass. John Hefner.
What's up, Lips?
Thank you for the thumbs up, man.
Yeah, we gotta have obviously the Blues are done playing the Rangers, but we gotta have Mr. Lips on again. I like having
Yeah.
Lips on.
Well, we got a guest on Sunday. We got a guest on Sunday.
Yeah, we do. Yes, we do.
We have a guy that does a weekly. He used to do a weekly radio show. I don't know if he still does it. He is also part of his grandfather. Our buddy Stephen Glass put a post out about Olive Garden on his thing. Well, and I wanted to reply and I didn't. I wanted to say, well, you should have gone to the Pasta House. Our guest grandfather started the Pasta House. Joe Fresta is going to be on with us on Sunday. We will probably not do tomorrow's game. I'm like I said, I'm struggling with this cough now. We'll kind of see how it is. So if I don't do the game tomorrow, I'll post the Fresta show, 8:00 on Sunday night. We're going to play tomorrow by ears. Is that okay, Justin?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that. I mean, I could also, if that's not something you can do, I mean, maybe we could talk about me possibly doing that one if you're not around. But, if that is something that is wanted by the audience, like if there's like, oh yeah, you should do a show tomorrow, then, maybe I can consider doing one, because I got nothing.
Like I said, we'll play that by ear. Sam says I'll definitely come back on the podcast, but I have to look at my school schedule. No problem, Sam. We'll work with you. We usually do a Sunday. Our talk show is Sundays, so we can kind of go there. We do it at 8:00 St. Louis time, so that would be 9:00 your time. But we could always bullet back an hour and do it at 7:00 St. Louis time, which would be 8:00 your time. Will signed my jersey. Well, I'm glad. Thank you. That's good. As we're getting ready for the second period, I think what the Blues need to do is get offensive, right? Just start getting offensive. Control the puck more, get it through the neutral zone, set up the cycle, and get some shots on net, right? Dallas is the fast team. They're a strong team. They're a good team that has been struggling a little bit, so you got to take advantage of it. Right.
It's like I said, for me, obviously, I want to see more shots. I want to see the Blues get more shots. They need to get more shots, especially against a good Dallas team. But like I said, I'm still in the camp of I'm not angry about what I saw in the first period. I thought for the most part, yeah, the Dallas Stars had some offensive zone time, but the Blues did a pretty good job of keeping them to the outside where they were not allowing the Dallas Stars to get a lot of shots in close, up close and personal on Binnington. A lot of it was from the outside. Binnington sharp in that period. The goal that was let up, not on him. It was a rebound. It was just right place, right time for Wyatt Johnston. Great player, by the way. Love Wyatt Johnston. Actually, one probably very close for me. If I'm talking about Dallas, very close for me for one of my favorite players on Dallas. Him and Ottinger, neck and neck.
Well, Scary wants you to do the show. We'll see. I'm not signing up. I'm not ruling anything out. Let's just put it that way, right? Windy City saying, "What's up, hey Windy? How you doing, bud?" Jockey saying, "Yeah, I guess that's saying he wants you to do the show." How are the Blues last in the league in scoring because they just can't put the puck in the back of the net? It's that simple. I feel like Parayko should be more physical on the goal. On that goal against, he should be more physical, period. And I think that catches us all up.
Well, and it's nothing like that. It's not like Guy doesn't want me to do it, and he knows that I can do it because I've done it. The concern, and the rightful concern, is it's a struggle for me. It's not as easy for me to do this like Guy does because I can't see like Guy can. I'm sure you have a little bit of trouble seeing sometimes, but I am physically like struggling with my vision. So yeah, I'm physically legally blind. So it is hard for me to do shows, and I don't really want to be up. But it's not a great sight for anybody to have to come in and see me doing this, like trying to look at the comments. And I understand that, but I think as for like what I do, like talking wise, like I'll usually do, if Guy's not here, I'll usually do a game, a play-by-play kind of thing, to where it's a little different, to where I'm actually engaging with the comments, but I'm more so doing a play-by-play almost.
I mean, again, I'm not ruling anything out. I just got to make sure I feel comfortable with everything and how I'm feeling. So they don't. Wayne says they don't shoot enough shots that make it through to the net. That's true, Wayne. It just feels like they're not. Their sights are not set correctly. They need to sight it in. I just, and the Pareko comment earlier, Pareko just, for me, he needs to be more physical, period. End of story. And he's not, right?
Yeah, he's definitely not a physical. He's a guy that definitely relies heavily on his reach that he has with the stick.
So Wayne says, if you want a stand-in to help with the show, I'd be available. The problem is, Wayne, you would not be able to show comments and read comments for Justin. And that's kind of the issue. There's only 2 other people right now that can do that, and neither one of them are available. So that's kind of where we run into the problem.
Mm-hmm. And
right.
And like I said, there is ways, and most of the people who come on here and support it, we love you guys that come on and support every time we're live. You guys understand that I have trouble seeing. But as for people that are coming in and viewing the show that are, maybe new, I think personality wise, I'll be fine, getting in and being fine, helping them feel welcome into the show. It's just, they're going to see that, just like most people in my life, in real life, outside of this, I've had so many people come up to me in like the grocery store, and I had one lady one time, I was looking at like a thing of cheese, and it was pretty close, and she goes, "How does that cheese smell?" And I'm like, "I'm legally blind." So people look at you in a different way, and they think that you're like an alien almost, like you're just not human. So
Brian Green, there is no way on this God's green earth, and I'm not a believer in God, that I would let you do this show. How's that?
Jesus, don't hurt him.
He says, "Let me do the show. Let me do the show. You can trust me," in capital letters. So I'm letting you know straight up, I know better than that. Is there a dual monitor system you can use to blow up the comments? Unfortunately, we're looking into something like that. Unfortunately, the way and Chris, you saw how the show is set up, how it's set up. He'd have to put this on like a 72-inch monitor, which he couldn't put in his room, in order for him to be able to read the comments without him putting it right in front of his face, even then. So
and it's tough. The setup I only have one monitor, and I'm watching the game on this monitor. So I'm using a small tab. Even I did get a laptop. I haven't used it yet. I haven't even opened it because I'm waiting for all that ordeal if I'm gonna get that machine that you've been talking about.
I'm working on it, man. I've been sick the last couple of weeks.
No, you're good. I'm not in any rush, but I don't want to break out any of that until I have what I need and I can physically full setup. I mean, I can set up right now if I wanted, but I want to wait until I get the full experience and really just do it all at once and make sure that it all sounds good. But yeah, I don't have two monitors. I wish I could do it to where I could split screen it. Like, it'd be cool if I could have comments on one side and have the Blues game on the other, but that's not how technology is. So,
right. Yeah. So we're working on something. Me and Justin are working on something. Bailey says we want Krabby. Who's Krabby? I don't know who that is, Bailey. Right. Wayne says that's a problem in today's world, people. In today's world, just and I understand, and some people just they don't know, they don't understand, and and again, see, but Justin, this is the same thing I go at, and I say this, and I hope this doesn't hit you in the wrong. This is the same thing I go at with the officials. You make comments on the officials, and it's the same that the comment made on the lady. There's things that you don't know. There's things that she didn't know. So that's why I back off on the official some, because I always know that there's things that I don't know. Right? Because I've not been an official. I don't have their bird's eye view. I wish. Justin Carbonell. He's a year away.
Justin Carbonell is going to be. I'm telling you, Justin Carbonell. I saw it early when he came into training camp. Justin Carbonell is going to be something special for this team. I feel it. I feel like they might have got some type of steal with him at 19th. I think the compete level is there. I think the blue collarness is there. I think he's going to fit right in with St. Louis. I don't know if he's going to be a massive like goal scorer or if he's just going to be like a consistent 20 goal guy. I don't know. I mean, 20 goals is nothing to sleep on, but like I don't think he's going to be like some Nathan McKinnon or anything like that. But I think he's going to be a good player for the Blues. I think he fits the Blues system very well.
Justin would probably be a good referee. He wasn't dropped to 109th. He was dropped to 19th. We got Carbonell at 19th, not 109th. Oh, why did he drop to 19th? Actually, I don't think he dropped that far. I think he was probably around.
Yeah, I think he was plagued in that place. I think
he was
right?
What?
I think he was. I think wasn't he? I think they might have got him. I think they said that he was actually. They actually were surprised that he didn't go earlier.
I think he was 14th, but
yes,
you usually get one or two teams. You get a couple of teams that they look at. So when in the draft, there are two different schools of thoughts in the draft. One is field needs. Two is best position available. Now, if you were in the field needs and you are at, say, 9, and your need is at 13, if you can't trade down to 13 or trade down to 11, you're going to take him at 9. Now, unfortunately, then you get teams to where their need, they want a specific player.
Yeah,
and while that player may be in the second round, they're not ready to wait until the second round to get him. They're just going to take him right here.
No. They're gonna take the guy that they're most and that thing with Justin Carbonell. I mean, when they talked about it, Justin Carbonell was a guy that they were surprised was available, and they said that was a guy that we liked, and we went with him. So I like that mentality. They didn't hold off. They took what they wanted, and he is a winger. I don't know if the Blues necessarily needed a winger when you look at what they had, coming up through the system, but. Yeah. I thought center was a position that the Blues desperately needed. But if you look at that draft, there wasn't much when it came to centers. Like most of those guys went in the beginning portions, the top 10. Justin Carbonell was a great fit. And I think that the Blues, me and Guy have talked about this a lot, that the Blues draft really well in that middle area.
Yeah.
So, right. And I think the reason they draft really well in that middle area is because they look at the player, they look at the type of personality you're getting, and I think they saw Justin Carbonell and they said, this guy is a blue-collar worker, and he's going to be a good fit in St. Louis.
By the way, puck drop.
Yeah.
Dallas won it.
Second period, yeah.
I know where I'm at.
Yeah, I'm not that far behind you. I'm a little bit behind you, but not that far.
Yeah.
Dallas in the zone, getting some zone time, but started the second period.
I don't always agree with this. Bailey says, take the best guy. If you don't need him, trade him. It's the mentality that you need to have in the draft. It's my opinion. Well, here's the thing. I disagree with that. Somebody's getting a penalty, Bushnevich.
No, I think it's Jamie Benn.
We're going to the power play. Ben's getting a penalty.
Jamie Benn grabbed
a penalty for holding on Bushnevich. So there we go. And their coach ain't happy either. So
now
that's a hold. That's a hold. That's an absolute hold. He puts his hand right on his chest. That's a hold. That's an absolute hold. Got no issue with that. Can we get another power play goal? Let's see.
Yeah, we shall see. Dvorsky, I love that Dvorsky. Obviously the Blues are banged up right now. Dvorsky is getting a more prominent role here, but I do like that they're having confidence in him out there taking the face off. Obviously, that's what you have right now. You have him or Shin, but still, he's getting a more prominent role on that power play. I think the Blues are running. I think they're running with. Oh no, they're. Oh, okay. I thought I was seeing Parayko for a minute. I'm like, oh, guy would like that, but no, it wasn't. It was Kyrou. Yeah. Hopefully the Blues can get a power play, another power play goal. That would be huge for them because the power play has not been good. It's been very predictable.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing is, so the draft is hard. And so here's the thing. How many of you remember the movie Draft Day? Since that movie's come out, a lot of people think the draft is something like that. And trust me, Draft Day, no matter what, would never, ever happen in the NHL. There is no GM in the world that is going to give up 3 first-round draft picks to move up 7 spots. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. There's no way, right? And too many people think that that's the way it works, and and it doesn't work that way. You have to look at 2 different things. You have to fill your needs, and you have to look at best available. The one thing about the NHL is rarely do players come right out, get drafted, and then that year they're drafted play in the NHL. Really, the only guy that normally happens with is the number 1 overall pick. And the Blues' number 1 overall pick didn't do that. He didn't come in for like 2 years later. So,
yeah.
so it's you got to understand that when you're drafting 2 to 3 years down the road.
Yeah, most people, unless you're looking at a generational talent like a Celebrini, like a Connor Bedard, you are not drafting. I mean, and technically, even when you are getting that pick, you're probably pretty bad. It's like Chicago and San Jose. You're bad at that point. So you are, like Guy is right. You are drafting. You are not drafting for right now in the moment. You're drafting for a couple years down the line. So, Celebrini came in and San Jose's playing fantastic. It took Connor Bedard a couple seasons to get going, but the supporting cast for Connor Bedard wasn't there. Yeah. They're slowly getting there, but it's going to take a minute. It takes a minute for those teams, but I think for what the Blues do in the draft, I think that being so in the middle, I think the Blues take the right guy in most cases. I really do.
Berger just had a nice little shot on net, but couldn't get it. At 77, is that Bergen or Bukestad? Bukestad.
No, Bukestad.
Had a nice little shot on net. Yeah. Ted Intermass, what's the deal? Why can't the Blues get shots on goal? Well, you know what? That's the billion-dollar question. If you have the answer to that, tell Montgomery because he can't find it.
Look, and again, I want to preface this because I continue to go back to it. I want shots too. I want the Blues to take a first shot first mentality. But I want to say this: the Blues not getting shots and getting outshot in games should not be surprising to any Blues fan. They always do it. They always get outshot. That's always been their MO. They never take that many shots. They're
out shooting 3-0 Dallas. That's going to change early.
And they had a power play. I mean, they had a power play in the beginning. They're only 3 minutes in. So, but still, the Blues have never been a team that outshooting team. The positive for the Blues here is although they're not shooting as much, they are not allowing as many shots. The Blues are usually easily in the 35, probably shots against the game average, and they're not there. They're in like the 27 area.
I think that was Bushnevich. I'm not completely sure.
Yeah, Pavel Bushnevich from Jake Neighbors.
Great shot.
Pavel Bushnevich. I'm telling you, Bush, man, it's been such a weird year for Bush. I know he's gotten a lot of stuff. The Bush hate has definitely died down, and I think that most people are seeing what I've seen, and I've said for a while now that he's not been as bad as he was in the beginning portions.
Oh, what a pass! What a pass from Neighbors! Oh my goodness! Oh, pass and a one-timer. Ottinger had 0 chance. Wow! I gotta pee, man. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah, a great pass by Neighbors. The Dallas Stars puck watching right there. the puck goes to the outside. The pass from Kyrou, kind of off the mark, but it works out in the Blues' favor. It goes on neighbor's stick, but as you see in the replay there, I believe it's Steele. Definitely puck watching. Definitely misses his man going through the middle. He's, any center or any type of player in the center of the slot there. No coach is ever going to say that you're looking or that you should be looking at the goaltender when a pass is, where it is. He's definitely puck watching at that point. He should be covering that slot. Gets a good play to Bush, and Bush gets a good shot and a great goal for him. Like I said, I'm glad that the Bush hate has died down a little bit. He definitely deserved it in the beginning portions, but Bush is a guy that has played really, really well since that Philadelphia game, in my opinion. I mean, obviously there's down games, but he has not been nearly as bad as he was. If I can figure out, okay, you know what? I can just remove these. I don't want to move. Okay, there we go. There we go. Looks like we might have figured it out, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. Bush in the 25th century. Yeah. He's, like I said, he's gotten a lot of slack, and it was definitely well deserved, but he's been pretty solid for the most part, in my opinion, since that Philly game. Eyes in the back of his head. Yep. Eyes in the back of his head. Bush actually shoots it. Yep. Bush does shoot, finally. Bush usually does shoot. If he gets into a situation where he has the ability to shoot, he will shoot. There is times where he will try to pass, but very rarely do I think that Bush doesn't shoot the puck. I think that when he tries, his problem is not shooting the puck; it's whiffing on the puck. Actually, if Stars fans, if Stars fans are like Blues fans, they're saying they suck or Otters suck. Yeah, no, I would never utter that. If I was a Dallas Stars fan, I would never ever utter that. Ottinger sucks. Ottinger is one of the main reasons Dallas is afloat. So I definitely don't like that for sure. That's not what I'm going with on that one, Chris. Oh, here you go.
I'm back.
Oh.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, no, you're good. I was trying to read the comments. It's confusing because I'm trying to get used to I'm still getting used to the comments because I think most recent comment is the bottom comment and not the top comment.
Yeah, very bottom comment.
So.
Yeah,
but
so
I was going over the comment
from top to bottom.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was going over it because I was talking about Bush and how he's not been as bad. Like in the beginning season, he definitely deserved the slack, but he hasn't deserved it since that Philadelphia game.
Yeah,
he's been very noticeable.
Yeah, that was that. But I don't put that. I put that shot. I put that goal. That goal is absolutely on Neighbors. I mean, Neighbors isn't going to get credit for it. That's Neighbors' goal, right? You know what I mean?
Hey, I've always viewed anything with hockey, with assists and everything. People, obviously you want goal scorers, but assists are just as important, man, because assists are what create the play.
Yeah.
Very good play by Jimmy Snuggerud there. Jimmy Snugglebug with a great stick in the slot there, preventing a shot.
Yeah. I mean, they haven't allowed Dallas a shot yet. And we're what?
Okay, Blues going on the penalty kill. Snuggerud, I believe. Yeah, 21. Snuggerud with a great play in the slot there though, because there was a Dallas Star right there. But he was very strong on the state. I didn't see the penalty. It wasn't that play. It was after that, but
yeah.
Blues going on the penalty kill. Hopefully they can continue a strong second period. Second period's been very rough for them this year.
I'm with you.
As we all know. I don't think we read this comment, did we? Pin.
I'm not. All right,
Oh, all
penalty.
right. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, it was, but I didn't see it. Like I said, it happened after the great play that he had. But Dallas was getting some zone time. I do think though, although the Dallas Stars are getting zone time, they're not really getting much in the inside. I think the Blues are doing a good job keeping them to the outside.
Now I will tell you this. I know we argued about the Blues have played better 5-on-5 this game than the Stars have.
Well, and I want to say the 5-on-5 game has been there effort wise. I'm telling you they've scored. They scored 5-on-5 in this game, but I want to preface they deserve to score 5-on-5 in Winnipeg, and they should have, and they had a lot of chances. Their goalie was really good. Comrie had a really good game, but yeah, no, they've been good in this game. I think that obviously the shots haven't been there, of course, like we've talked about, but I think that they've done a good job of neutralizing Dallas on the outside. So
I agree with you at this point.
let's see. I know that I know you don't want me to bring up comments, but I've been seeing them pop up, so I like to at least show them. At least, even in Winnipeg, the 5-on-5, yeah, they played well. Yeah. So you're agreeing with me that should not be named. Yeah, you are agreeing with me there. So it was good. The 5-on-5 play was good in Dallas or in Winnipeg. Can you read that one comment there, guy? I can't read that. I mean, I can, but
the ice were at 110 plus on their shift, and Dallas started buzzing. At that point, do whatever you can to get the puck. Okay, and that's fair.
Yeah, stop the momentum. I get that, and I definitely get that. They like I said, there's been in the beginning of the game, the Dallas Stars were in the zone for felt like 2 minutes, but I felt like a lot of it was on the outside. So I mean, I do feel that the Blues have done a good job, like I said, keeping them to the outside. Dallas for me, the weird thing for me is I think Dallas is a great team, and Dallas is one of my favorites to win the cup. And this is the year that they need to capitalize and actually win a cup because they've been in that discussion for a while. Dallas is a team that for me they're not a high potent offense. They have some great players. They're a great team, but they're not a team that can really score at will. If that makes sense. They're not at Edmonton. They don't have a Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl that just feel like they score willingly. And they don't have a Nathan McKinnon that just takes over a game at any, drop of a dime. I just think that they're a very good structured defensive team that doesn't give up much. So they don't have to go out there and score 17 goals a game. And as we say that, Dallas, they put a puck in the net. So they score a power play goal. Matt Duchene, great play there. Kind of off the rush, not much zone time there. They weren't really getting much, and then they come in off the rush, and Matt Duchene buries a one-timer, or not a one-timer, but a pass across the ice. Let's see. That was I will say, they're showing Parayko on this. This was a weird change by Colton Parayko. I don't know why he went off for a change at that moment, but kind of perplexing. But I don't know if you saw that. But did you see that?
No, I didn't, unfortunately.
Yeah, Parayko, he went off on a the Dallas Stars had the puck in their own zone, and then Colton Parayko tries to get off the ice, and it kind of messes up the formation there, allowing Dallas to transition quickly. Kind of a weird change. That change right there, it didn't remind me as bad as the Marchant one, but that reminded me of Game 7 Marchant line change right there. Not as bad, but definitely reminded me of it for sure. See, I like that. That's.
You said I don't think you saw the man at the blue line. Probably not.
Probably not. But I feel like for the change, I feel like they're pretty good at change. I just feel like that was a weird change by. Oh, very good try there. This the top line that we thought was gonna possibly struggle, they've been pretty noticeable tonight. Very good chance.
Just misses there. Good tip.
But the Blues, like I said, the line change, it was just not very Colton Parayko-esque. It was very weird to me. I've never seen him kind of make a play like that. I feel like he would have stayed out there for that play to develop. But yeah, the line for them though has been pretty good though. The shin line, the top line that we thought would be kind of not noticeable has been pretty noticeable tonight. So, and you know what? Shin was my player to watch tonight. So he hasn't been on the board, but you were right about Kyrou though. Kyrou has a assist in this game. Are you here? Are you what's happening?
No, I just got two different things going on. I'm sorry, man.
I would assume are we
He's locked right now. I get off your phone. We all know you can't use the phone to save your life. Thank you. Sorry. Got a couple different things though. There you go. Looks like he's back. Oh, loose puck. 3-on-2, and we couldn't get it in.
Oh, there you go. Well, at least he's. Oh man, very good try. Kyrou though in the slot, doing what he needs to do and shooting the puck.
Yeah,
that's what you want to see.
Kyrou had a good game so far.
Yeah, before I got kicked out, I was saying, yeah, you were right. You said Kyrou was the guy to watch. I didn't pick Kyrou. Kyrou, obviously, not obvious pick like I've been saying, but the Kyrou was a good pick. I picked Kyrou in the last two, so I was like, I didn't want to pick him tonight just because I picked him in the last two. So I was like, I feel like I wouldn't be original if I picked him third time in a row.
Both my picks have been good tonight, Bennington and Kyrou.
Yeah, I picked Shin, and Shin doesn't have a point in this game, but the line's been good. So that's a weird. I'm surprised. I haven't heard Rantanen's name very much tonight.
He's out.
Oh well, the broadcasters just. I thought I could have swore that they just. No, he's in there. Rantanen's in there. He's on the ice. Yeah, he's right there. 96.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's there. I was wondering, because they just said Rantanen fell down. I'm like, yeah, he's in the game. He just hasn't been very noticeable.
Oh, nice hit, Boberg.
So it looks like nice, Broberg. Yep. Who did he hit right there? Was that? I think he did hit. Did he just hit Rantanen? Yeah, he did. Oh no, he did hit Rantanen. Okay, well that's weird. So we were all. Oh no, we are. Yeah, we're. So it seems like we're live on everything besides the BlueNote Fan Report.
Yeah, I'll try and put it back in.
It's fine. I just because I've been looking at it, trying to keep an eye on it. But yeah, everything. Mine's alive. Yours is live. Even Vitaly Hideaway is live.
Yeah, but the
BlueNote Fan Report is not.
The Coast to Coast isn't live either.
Yeah. Blues. Oh, we're getting a commercial break. The Blues going back on the penalty kill. I believe Bukestad getting a call for holding there. What is it? Yeah, I don't know. That's weird that it's given us an issue out of everything. Have we gotten caught up? I don't know how many comments that we've actually read.
We're caught up, I think.
It's a hard fought game. Did you read that?
Yeah, you can see the emotion on the ice, and urgency, something the Blues lack sometimes. Yeah, you've seen it this game. It's been a hard fought game from both sides. I agree.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely been. It's usually these two teams. They usually play each other pretty well. I can't remember. I'm sure there's been a game in there, but it's been a while. I think that we've seen either team kind of blow out each other. I think I don't really remember the last time that these two teams, at least one of them, have blown each other out. I feel like they're always pretty close. Which is good because I think that this type of style, the style that Dallas plays, it doesn't favor the Blues, but they play on an equal level. Both teams are very, very equal on how they play. They're very blue collar. Both teams.
Think the penalty was soft.
No, it was a hold. The Blues were tired. They were getting extended zone time. I think it was Bukestad. If Bukestad was the guy that actually took the penalty, I think that's who it was. I didn't hear it on the.
They gave it to Snuggie, right?
No, that was the last power play. I think the hold was. Who was it?
I didn't realize we were on another one.
Yeah, no, before the break we went on but I thought it was Bukestad. I guess it wasn't.
Broberg for interference.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that, but good play by Bennington. I think Bennington hits that puck, he snags that puck, and then drops it immediately for Parayko to clear that. Good play. I think it did, or otherwise, or was it just a rebound that Parayko was just there to clear? Nice. Rompe Hintz just misses his stick there. Big kill here for the Blues. Hopefully playing decent. Both teams have 12-12 for shots right now. So the Blues, if everything's accurate, the Blues have outshot the Dallas Stars in this period 9-2, I believe. 9-2 is the shots in this period. Oh, very, very good save by Jordan Benton. That's his best of the game right there. Definitely his best of the game right there. Very good. Clear. Yeah, definitely the best save of the game for Bennington right there. I don't know if you saw that one, but
I got so much going on. I apologize.
Mm-hmm. Well, anybody else out there in YouTube or Facebook land, if you saw that save, that was his best save right there. So let me know what you thought. Dallas Blues, like I said, the Blues are doing a good job keeping them outside. Dallas is doing a lot of trying to force this puck to the middle, and it's not working for them right now. They're trying to force it through 4 Blues players, and it's just not working. Big kill for the Blues there, though. So Dallas has capitalized on 2 of the 3 power plays. They've scored on nothing but the power play. So 5-on-5 has been good for the Blues. So hopefully they can keep this game for the rest of it to 5-on-5. Stay out of the box. Nice hit.
Nice to get the kill, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, very good kill. That like they just said, two of the 3 the Dallas Stars have capitalized on. So
yeah.
But that's good. This is an area that the Blues have struggled with for the most part. 5-on-5 was a problem for the Blues. So we are seeing a little bit better of a situation where the Blues are playing well 5-on-5, which is good to see. I said that this game in our predictions, I said that I predicted a loss, but I predicted a close loss, and I said possibly overtime or a shootout.
Oh, I predicted a blowout, so I'm glad I'm wrong.
Did you? No, I don't think you did. Did you? Oh, no, I think you did. Yeah, you said 4-0. 4-0.
4-1 or 4-0. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So technically, you are wrong because they scored 2. So you are wrong. So that's good. Maybe we just got to start doing that, or maybe you got to start doing that. Just predicting Blues losses.
No, we're good right now, Bailey. Thank you.
What happened?
You said Bailey said I can hop in if y'all need. I'm told him we were good.
Oh no, yeah, no, we're good. I just was making sure because he wasn't looking, so I was wondering what he was doing. I had this message, so I assume that it was up and then it wasn't, or it didn't go through at least. I had that red message on. I said I have that red message on my screen again. I would assume that it just didn't go up.
Don't worry about it. Just click and it'll go away.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I was looking for the X button. I was wondering where it was.
No, if you just click, it'll go away. I'm not going to worry about it right now.
Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah. We're back in Dallas. Let's see. Colton Parayko, anytime goal scorer. I would not take that bet if I was you. They're showing the bets right now. Miro Heiskanen with 1+ shot on net. That's pretty. He has 0 shots right now, which is pretty interesting. I'm pretty shocked about that. Over under 5.5 goals. Current 4 goals.
Parayko doesn't shoot enough. He doesn't use his body enough. He's 6'6" and he plays like he's 5'10". Somebody made that comment earlier.
Yeah, Parayko. I was just going over the bets. The bet, one of the bets was Parayko getting a goal or anytime goal score. I don't see that happening, but hey, I mean, I will say if there's any game that he could score, it could be this one. I think Parayko does have pretty good luck against Dallas. I think he does score quite a bit of goals in Dallas or against Dallas. So.
Ryan Green says, I wish Guy had an evil twin on the show so we could watch them disagree like we're watching divorce court. I think Justin's getting pretty close to that. So
what?
Being my evil twin.
Oh, evil twin, yeah. What is it? You know what sticks out for me with Parayko and his goal? Was the goal that he scored in Dallas. You remember in the playoffs when he took that shot and he smacked Ben Bishop right in the collarbone?
Yep.
Yeah, that was the goal that I always think of when I think of Parayko.
Broke his collarbone and Dallas was pissed off because they didn't blow the whistle.
Yeah, but Dallas didn't touch the puck.
Well, no, it wasn't. But it wasn't. I mean, he was hurt, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
He wasn't in danger. The Blues weren't shooting at where he was, so.
Well, no, and the Blues pretty much scored immediately after, but they were mad because they didn't blow the whistle, but the Dallas Stars didn't touch the puck.
I appreciate that. Bailey. I know I seem a little busy. I just got a bunch of things going on. I tried my best, and some of it's show related, some of it's not. Just doing what I can. I mean, the Blues, this period, they've outshot Dallas 9-4.
Yeah,
right?
9-4. Yeah.
10-3. So they've evened it up. I mean, they're being outshot 14-12, but overall, they've evened it up.
Man, that's a very, very good try there. The Blues almost hit.
Going to the box.
Is he?
Looks like Falk's going to the box. Yeah.
Yeah, Justin Falk not happy there. I think they're talking about Rope Hintz holding his stick.
Never. Well, you may not mind, but I mind. So
what?
Ryan says, "Tell us what you're dealing with. We don't mind." Yeah,
Well,
I mind.
I mind. What in the world? What am I looking at? I'm thinking Justin Falk. It looks like Justin Falk gets his stick held in that altercation there, and Justin Falk not happy about that one.
Yeah.
It looks like Rope Hinch grabs his stick in that little thing there on the boards, and then he wouldn't let go, and then Falk got rough with him.
Yeah.
But it was weird. They called interference. I think they called interference was the call, which is weird.
Ryan Green. Yeah, Ryan Green saying, "We are like family. What happens on the show stays on the show." Ha ha. Yeah, I don't think so.
So, this is what it is.
I would assume some of his anger stems from me, but is what it is. Or not anger, but busyness. Oh, very good block there by Fowler.
Ryan says, "Justin, you're just the root cause for all the
very good. What a play by, I think that was Stenberg. Very good play there, diving to get that puck out.
Bailey, don't bring this down now. Bailey says one of the most disciplined teams taking penalties left and right. NHL to take a look at this. You're going to cause an argument like we already had earlier. So,
no, I'm not going to say anything. I clearly, like I said, I don't want to frustrate Guy's already frustrated. It's clear as day. I don't want to frustrate him. I mean, I'm not saying anything. The penalties were penalties. I mean, the last one.
Now it looks like we're going on another one.
I will say the most recent. Oh, we are getting another penalty. I thought you were lying.
Huh?
I thought you were lying.
No.
Tripping the Blues. I will say though, there's been two. I think that's the third penalty in the last 5 minutes or the last 10 minutes of the period here. I think that's a little bit too much for my liking.
Fourth penalty they've taken in this period since the 11:50, almost a 12-minute mark. So in 6 minutes they've taken 3 penalties.
Yeah, for me, it's too much. I get it, but like the one that I have the issue with was possibly the Falk one. The Falk, if you see it, Rope Hinch grabs his stick.
Yeah.
And for me, myself and Guy.
That's why I've advocated for a while now about having that fifth official in the, up in the box. So some of this stuff can be covered, so they can turn around and go, hey, that's not what it was. But, it's never going to happen. Because, I've never heard anybody else talk about it, but it's really what they should do. And, also the other problem I have with the replay being in Toronto is a lot of times that Toronto doesn't, because the vibe of the game, what's actually happening at the game, what's happening in the arena matters, right? And Toronto doesn't get that feel. For example, I think if you had a fifth official, like the one goaltender interference one that the Blues got, the one that was egregiously, yes, it was, and they decided it wasn't.
Yeah,
where
Seattle.
the Toronto official agreed with the guys on the ice. Somebody in the booth watching it live is not going to agree with that.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
And is going to be able to say, you know what, hold on, take that 1,000-foot look. Right. Step back and take that 1,000-foot look. So when that is the biggest problem I have with officiating. I think that they do need they need that video replay official to be in the building, not in Toronto. I get the war room, and I don't have an issue with the war room. You can still keep the war room, but I really want that guy in the arena to have the say. I want that guy who can feel the vibe of the game, feel what's happening out there, and say,
yeah, you don't. I'm with Guy on this one. You don't. If you have an official in the arena, a fifth official who's looking at the game, the official in the arena can feel the ebbs and flow of that game and how that game's going. You can't do that from Toronto. Go ahead. You can read that comment.
So Bailey says, what is this? Let the boys play. This has nothing to do with y'all's argument. I'm giving my 2 cents in this issue. At some point, as a ref, you've got to take a step back and already realize that you've called a couple of bad penalties, put the whistles up for a bit. But you see, the problem is you can and cannot do that, right? I think that, it's hard to follow the letter. How many people follow the letter of the law? I'm going to ask you this. How many of you out there, I want you to show me by putting an okay or a thumbs up that you follow the letter of the law all the time. If you do, put a thumbs up. And I know nobody's going to put a thumbs up. Right? Nobody is. Right? Justin, you might be one of the people that can because you don't drive. Right? But everybody that drives a car goes above the speed limit, does a rolling stop, makes a left turn on a right turn on red when they're not supposed to. All of that. You're still breaking the law. Park at a meter longer than you're supposed to park. You're breaking the law. Park closer to a fire hydrant than you're supposed to. You're breaking the law. So in that respect, it's very, very hard to follow the letter of the law. You have to determine when it's right and when it's wrong. If a guy is parked at the 9.5 feet mark, Bailey says I technically work law enforcement, so I won't be saying anything unless I have my lawyer. So that's what I'm kind of getting at, right? So these guys cannot call things by letter of the law. They're doing the best they can, right? Or do they make mistakes? Abso-freaking-lutely they make mistakes. Are they perfect? No, they are not perfect. But I think for the most interest, they do the best they can. And a lot of times it comes to perspective. And what is that perspective, right? Let's say this. You have two people that park on each side of a fire hydrant. One parks 4 foot from the fire hydrant. The other guy parks 9.5 foot from the fire hydrant. Who do you give the ticket to? Do you give it to them both? Or do you give it to the guy that parked 4 foot? Now, letter of the law is you give it to them both. However, I would not give it to the guy that parked 9.5 feet because the spirit of the law is that you do not block the fire hydrant from being used by firefighters. The guy that parked 9.5 feet isn't. The guy that parked 4 feet is. There's the difference.
Yeah, I think for me, I've been back on it a little bit. I'm not going too crazy on this game, but I will say, Bailey, I understand your frustration. I'm with you. I do think that that 6 minutes of penalty or a power play time in the last 6 minutes of the period is a little ridiculous. I get that aspect, but I'm also with Guy. I really would, and obviously Guy said it's not going to happen, and I agree with him. It's not going to happen because he's the only one that kind of talks about this, and we talk about it here, that there needs to be a official in the arena that has a better ebb and flow of this game. I'm going to use Guy's own argument against him here. We talked about this a few games ago when he talked about how, the refs are calming stuff down in this game. There's been nothing in this game that has provided chippiness, that has provided the officials to control this game. So
you're in this instance, you're right. In this instance, you're right. You're absolutely correct. In the other instance, it was there. That was there. That in that game, it started getting chippy, and they called a penalty on Walker. Maybe they could have let go, but they called it to say, hey, it's time to get the game under control. In this game, no, there's no reason to get this game under control. So I don't know why the whistles are out as much as they are, but for some reason they've decided to follow the letter of the law a lot more than in other cases. Bailey says, but what I mean to put the whistles up is don't call anything that is up for argument. I completely agree. That's a hard job, but penalties in the whole on the AHL right now, as of this month, have been mediocre at best. Maybe. I'm not completely on board with that, but I understand where you're coming from. And I'm starting to think the NHL stepped in and talked to the refs and said we need to call more penalties. I don't. I just, to me, that sounds like a conspiracy theory, and I can't. It's possible. I just don't see it. That's where I'm at with that. Right. So in this period, both teams scored 2 goals. The Blues got an even strength goal, and Dallas got a power play goal. The score remains tied. It is 2-2 instead of 1-1. St. Louis Blues took 4 penalties during that period. Snuggerud, Broberg, Falk, and Fabry. And Fabry will continue in to the third period for about 49 seconds, I think, somewhere around there. Ben took 1 penalty, and the Blues did not make him pay for it. Unfortunately, Dallas did make Falk pay for his. Falk's interference was a maybe, but they got the goal. Blues outshot the Dallas Stars 9-5 that period, but are being outshot 15-12 in the game. Overall, Dallas has taken 29 attempts. The Blues have taken 24 attempts, 24 attempts. So it's very close. Blues have 19 hits. Dallas has 11. St. Louis 6 giveaway, Dallas 8. St. Louis 4 takeaways, Dallas 2. Both teams have blocked 8 shots. Face-offs have gotten a little closer. Dallas is still winning that battle 21-16, 57% to 43%. Best face-off guy for Dallas has been, I can't even pronounce this dude's name. Ela, or is that right? No. Justin Herchukwan. I'm not even, wow. He is 4-0. He is 4-0. He's been perfect. For the Blues, the best face-off guy has probably been Shen at 63%. Schnuggerud's 100%, but he only took 1 face-off. So to me, you got to take at least 4. So in that case, I'm going to give it to Shen there. Overall, that was a very, 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 very good second period by the Blues. Yes, it was evened up, but considering the fact that they are usually a minus in the second period, I'm okay with it. I thought they played well most of the period. I thought they did well with all the penalties that were called. Right? And, I don't know why in some games it's letter of the law, in other games it's put the whistle away, as Bailey said. But, both teams have to deal with it in cases, right? Sometimes, they go one way or another. But for the most part, I don't have complete. I can't sit there and say that this game has been called terribly. You know, it hasn't been called great, but it hasn't been called terribly either. So that's my 2 cents on it. Justin, you're muted.
Oh yeah, it could definitely be way worse. I mean, it could definitely be way worse. Like I said, I will say the only issue I had with any of those in the second period was the Falk one, because you do see Rope Hintz grab his stick, which he should have been penalized for. If you wanted to take Falk, fine, but you should have took both guys. You should have, but that's okay. I'm not overly angry. I'm not over angry about what I saw. Obviously, we talked about the first period one. I didn't agree with that one. I think me and you both agreed that was not a hold in the first period. But I do think, though, that like there hasn't been nothing in this game where they needed to calm the players on the ice. There hasn't been much chippiness in this game. So the fact that we've seen 3 power plays in the last 6 minutes of the period, that is a little ridiculous. I will say that's a little.
It's actually 8 minutes, not 6, but I get where you're going at. Bailey says, I'm in love with the chippiness in the NHL, and when the refs step in, it just kind of makes me sad. Well, I gotta say this. I'm old school hockey. I grew up in that period of, you know, I grew up in the Ice Guardian period. Kelly Chase, Tony Twist, Bobby Plager, and so on, and Stu Grinton, and you know, all of these guys. I grew up in that period. The problem with that is, as great as, you know, what they did was, and the physicality it was, it took away a lot of the beauty of the game. And the beauty of the game is the offense. And some of that needed to be pulled back. And I do think for the most part, the NHL has done a good job with that. The officials, we saw this a couple of weeks ago. Who did the Blues playing in that game? Was it? It wasn't Edmonton.
What? When what happened?
When you know, they took a penalty. Walker took a penalty, and I said it felt like that the officials were sending a message that, hey, because the game started getting chippy.
Oh, it was shit. What was that game? Was that the Tampa game?
It might have been. No, it wasn't the Tampa game because
we won the Tampa game. We won the Tampa game in overtime.
Game in St. Louis, the one in St. Louis,
yeah.
No, I don't think it was a
Tampa. It was a away game, wasn't it? Wasn't it an away game?
Yeah,
it was an away game. Yeah.
Maybe. But again, and here or there, it doesn't matter. But it was the right thing. Believe it or not, in my eyes, it was the right thing for the official to call. I am not 100% a fan of 120-minute penalty games.
No, I'm not either.
When you have, you know, your best players in the locker room because they got game misconducts, that doesn't do anything good for the game, right? I love the chip. I'm going to read the comment in whole. As you probably know already, in the early 2000s, before slashing and stuff wasn't called, unless it was major, it provided the grit of the game. And I don't want to watch a game where it's a penalty left and right unless it was for scrums back and forth. I don't want it. I didn't want the scrums out. The beauty of the game could still be found, and it's what makes the greats even better. They found a way to make plays through the dirty. But that was just limited to only a few people. Now you have so many more superstars than you had then because the game has gotten opened up a little bit. More players are able to showcase their skills. And I forget who it was. I had a guy on, I think it was Jamal Mayers, who said, I hated that they coached the skill out of me. And during that period that you're talking about, Bailey, that's what happened. A lot of guys got the skill coached out of them, where now that doesn't happen. And that's what I like, is you're seeing skill. Look at Walker. Walker's got skill. He's a fourth liner, but he's got skill. In the old day, you'd have never seen Walker's skill because all Walker would have been doing is going and finding somebody to punch. right? Am I wrong there? Justin?
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Like I said, I like I like when things get left. Feisty, look at a couple nights ago, we had a goalie fight.
Yeah.
We had a goalie fight. But the thing is, I will say though, I mean, it wasn't an extremely impressive goalie fight. But I think back to that, and then
Bobrovsky just pummeled his ass.
Yeah. I mean, but there was a lot of shots that missed, but like it was out of. I look back at that one, and I look back at the one where Fleury and Bennington, they should have went at it, and they should have let them, and the officials did not. So, although I do think that it is a different time, it is a different time period. Things are going to change. I do think that there is times where chippiness is okay. Don't let it get out of hand, but like. There is times where you see guys that should, go at it, and they don't go at it, and the officials will not let them go at it. So I do think that they have pumped it down a bit. I do think that it does get lost in translation sometimes. That, like I said, goalies don't fight a bunch, but a moment like that, they should have let them go. They most definitely should have let them go in that instance. And then there's times on the ice where the players will go at it, and they should go at it, and the referees will pull them apart because they don't want to have a fight. And they don't do it completely all the time, but there is times where there is chippiness, and they should allow it because that's what makes the game, That's what makes it competitive.
Stephen Glass says for the refs, I think they've been told, and he agrees with you, Justin. I don't, but he does, and I'm reading it, and I'm not trying to cause anything. I think they've been told to call penalties. I think the NHL wants to see teams on the power play, especially the best one. That is a huge issue with the league in their attempt to make the game more offensive. I don't agree. I don't think that that's true. However, I think teams that are very, very good on the power play have learned how to get other teams, how to learn how to draw penalties. I think that's become that's become a skill when it didn't used to be. And I think that's the difference.
Okay, so I have a question. I'll pose it out here. Guy, I do not want you to look this up. Do not look it up. I want to just say this, and I'll look up the other guy's stats in a minute. 52 games have been played by the Edmonton Oilers, right? So Connor McDavid has played 52 games. How many penalties do you think? How many penalty minutes do you think Connor McDavid has this year in 52 games?
I'll say 10. I'll say
10. 10 is right. So he has only taken 10 minutes of penalty time in 52 games. And that this isn't kind of our discussion, but it goes back to, and like you agreed and you talked about this, there's superstars in this league, and they get the benefit of the doubt time.
Yeah,
Connor McDavid's in that category. He's one of the best in the league. We saw it in the time that we played Edmonton in the last game. He cross-checks what's his name into the boards. Dangerous play. If it would have been a little closer, he could have like freaking broke his neck on the boards. That's how bad that cross-check was. No call. And they said, when you're the best player in the world, you can do stuff like that. There's favoritism in the league. And I do think that, I'm not saying that the refs are out there like the NHL saying, oh, like, hey, you have to call this amount of penalties in a game. I'm not necessarily saying that. But I do think, though, that the NHL, like I said earlier, I do think that they want to see more offense. They want to see more goals. They think for a casual audience, the people that are not like myself and Guy and the people in this chat that have watched the game for 20 plus years, they think that the new audience wants to see touchdown scores. Fans like us, we don't want to see that. We don't. I mean, it's cool to see every once in a while, but we don't want to see games that end in touchdowns and 10-goal games. That's just not exciting for us. So
we want the 3-2 game. We want the 4-2 game, the 4-3
exactly.
game. 2-1
Exactly.
game. We want that.
Exactly.
And I get that. We're about to go into the third period here.
Yeah. I mean, we appreciate. We have a complete appreciation and understanding for why games that are 2-1, 1-0, why we love those games. Like, I saw so many complaints about when the Blues won the game in last year against the Islanders 1-0 in overtime, and people were bitching, "Oh, well, why didn't the Blues score? Why wasn't there 7 goals put on the board?" Like, you gotta appreciate those games.
Very well played game.
I know, but that was the general consensus. Like, people are like, they just don't understand and appreciate the 2-1, 3-2, 1-0 games anymore.
Yeah. No,
we got 20.
Hand pass, I think. Hand pass.
Oh yeah, hand pass.
It'd have been a 3-2 game. There's no way Bennington would have stopped that. Oh yeah, absolute hand pass.
Yeah, hand pass.
Hand pass. Yeah.
18 seconds to go in the
penalty kill.
In the penalty kill here, but
Stephen Glass says it's kind of like the NFL where people think the refs help Mahomes. Yes, they do, because he is the best quarterback in the league, and they and we want to see. No, it's not that I don't think that they help him. I think that when you're paying more, you know what? It's like Michael Jordan. It's like LeBron. It's like when St. Louis, the Cardinals had Pujols, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pujols' strike zone was damn near non-existent. The strike zone became non-existent. It's because the guy would plaster the ball. He was that good of a hitter. Ichiro's strike zone, because he could hit the ball. You know, the human nature is you want to see the best guys perform. So when that happens, the ref, subconsciously is gonna call the strike zone tighter.
Yeah,
right. They're gonna call things on Mahomes that normally they might have let go. They say, nope, that's the letter of the law on him.
Yeah,
you can play the game, and it's been happening since Babe Ruth's day.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have, and I wouldn't say, but technically, like, it is kind of like that. Like, they do get assistance in a way, but it's almost like they get the benefit. They get the benefit of the calls.
Benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, they get the benefit of the doubt on most things. And for me, and guys even said this, I don't think that's right. I don't. I think, if you're the best,
I kind of have no issue with it. I don't have an issue with someone being given the benefit of the doubt.
Well, it just depends. It depends on what it is. I look at a good example. Like I said, there's a reason I said about McDavid. 52 penalty. He has 10 penalty minutes in 52 games. That is 5 penalties.
Yeah,
that's 5 penalties all year. I guarantee you that Connor McDavid should be getting called for way more than 5 penalties in 52 games. There's no. Yeah, and I want to turn back to the Connor McDavid cross check in the last game against the Blues. That should have been called, and it was not.
That cross check, I know what you're talking about, may not have been seen. Just looking at where the referee was in that point, because the referee's on the opposite side of the ice. Now, the back referee might have been able to see it, but he might have been too far away to feel like he made the call, he could make the call, and it does happen.
And that's just an example, because that's the thing that came off the top of my head. I don't watch every Edmonton Oilers game, but I'm making it a point. It happens with Nathan McKinnon. I mean, Nathan McKinnon's so fast, and he knows how to turn down to that. And these guys are good enough to draw penalties, and they do get the benefit of the call. But I will say that there is times that that these players, they barely get touched, and then there's a call coming against the other team because of it. And I don't necessarily agree with that.
And while I understand your point of view on that, it's the best players, the guys that it's almost like they've earned that right to have the space. And I know you may say that's wrong, and I completely get it, but I understand it. So that's where I'm coming from.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to call up Jamie Rivers, has a skill guy who does not commit penalties. He had a reputation, so they are not looking for McDavid to Rivers was a penalty guy, if I remember right.
Yeah, I don't know if I think Rivers probably was a penalty guy.
I know Jamie too. I know Jamie too. I have his phone number in my phone. I'm going to call up a Jamie Rimmer semi-quote from a couple of years ago. NHL players back in my Rivs day had a relationship and knowing of the refs. I don't think I see that nowadays. I disagree with that. So I misread you. I get your comment. Something else came in. So that's why I didn't completely.
Now,
Ref McDavid is a skill guy. Okay, that's why I got the two comments mixed up. Who does not commit penalties. He has a reputation, so they are not looking for McDavid to commit a penalty. That I agree with. When he may be committing penalties, but again, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, don't get me wrong. Like I said, it's been a thing since the end of time. Since that's been a thing, and I understand it. You do want your best players to be your best players. That's what draws your audience. You know, that's what draws casual audiences to the product. But again, I want to make the point that I think if you're the best player at your sport and you're the best player at your game, you shouldn't need assistance and getting benefit of the doubt. You should, if you're the best at your sport, and I know it's a half, like half and half. I agree with you, Guy, but I agree with this point that if you're the best player at your sport, you shouldn't need the extra assistance. You shouldn't need the benefit of the doubt if you're that good.
I do understand that. I do understand that thought process. I do understand that. Not that I completely agree with it, but I do understand it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like a 50-50.
Can I say something here when it comes to you and me, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing this for 8 years now, right? And this was something that I was going to talk to you about, but I think now is a good time, and it's not poking a needle at you at all, okay? I want you to understand that. I've been doing this 8 years now. So in those 8 years, I have learned where the line is. You haven't gotten to that point yet. So I know which guys that I can argue with when they say something, and I know which guys I can't. That is, and not only that, when I do some of these arguments with them, if you've noticed, some guys, like when you've tried to argue with them, they've shot back at you because they don't have that relationship with you that I have with them. And that relationship takes time to build. And I think that's a lot what goes on in the NHL, that it takes time to build relationships. And as guys build those relationships, not only amongst other players, but amongst the officials, it changes how things are called or how things go down. And I think that's the exact same thing for the show. So that's why I'm using it as an example. Does that make a little bit of sense, Justin?
Yeah, I think that could be definitely the case for sure. Like I said, we talk about it. It's been a heavy discussion. But and I'm trying to do a little better at not being as.
That was not me taking it. I want you to understand that was not me taking a dig at you. Okay.
No. I'm saying no, not. I'm not been on. I'm saying like trying to do a better job, not giving the officials such a hard time. Like I'm trying to not be so harsh on him, but I still want to set the precedent that as a fan and as someone in media that is doing this, I do want the league to be as best as it can be, and I think that there is things that they could do to make that possible. Just like we've been talking about, the fifth official and rule changes that they can make the 3-on-3 overtime, and but I think that is our job as media to go out there and speak the truth. Sometimes, obviously, within the boundaries, be professional, be this, be that, but you need to set the precedent that we want things to change. We want the product to be the best that it can be. So. Did we have I don't know if I don't know if that was another comment or not. Is that another comment? I don't even know.
No, we're good. We're caught up. Oh, no, this might be a new one. Rayleigh's is new. No, I love these arguments, and I'm not mad at stuff. I genuinely love the sport and understand it even more. It's just better and to understand it's better these arguments need to happen. And Bailey, you're right. And if you were here in the early part of the show, me and Justin were at it hand and foot, right? We were. But the difference here, and I finally stepped back. I stepped back and said, not good for the show. I need to step back. because I wasn't comfortable with myself. That is a skill that I have learned over almost 9 years of doing this. I am under I have the complete confidence that as Justin does this show more, it is a skill he will understand and learn also. And again, Justin, please understand, that is not a dig at you. It is not. I did the same stuff. You need to understand that 1,000,000,000%, not a dig at you. But as we've calmed down and we've had this better conversation, it's been really good discussion and the type of discussion that shows like this need to have. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like I said, this is a topic that we've been discussing hard, and I think that I get the professionalism, I get the what's good for the show, not going like absolutely crazy at each other or anything like that. But like I said, I still agree that as media and as a fan of the NHL, you need to set the precedent that you do want change. You don't want to accept mediocrity. And I don't think anybody should accept mediocrity. I really don't, because I think, first of all, I think it's bad for the sport. I think it's bad for the product. I think if you're putting out a mediocre product and you're just accepting it, I don't think that that's good for the space either, because then you're setting the precedent that this is what you want. This is how you want the product to be. And I don't think that. I think, as like I said, as media, even though you want to be professional, you need to present yourself in a way that you want the NHL to be the best it can be. And it can be better. I think me and you can both agree on that. I think it could be better.
Yeah, no, it can be better. I'm not disagreeing there, but I'm also in the camp that it's not as bad as people make it out to be. So that's kind of where I'm at. And it's been a good discussion. Shots are 17-13. Dallas has had a little more control early on in this period. They also started with the short power play. Shots are 2-1, so it's been together. Both teams are playing a slightly conservative in my mind right now.
Yeah,
neither team wants to make a mistake. And when you're tied 2-2 in the third against one of the best teams in the league, the number 2 team in the league, playing conservative right now is okay. I understand that.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to
playing conservative. You have them playing conservative. If they were playing aggressive, maybe you need to play aggressive. But if they're playing conservative, you can match that and also play conservative.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at it like this. This is a good strategy for the Blues, because if you think about it, this.
Who was that? Neighbors. Oh, neighbor just missed an open net.
Oh, he just whipped. I think he got his stick lifted.
Yeah,
he might have
got it lifted, but it was a really good play.
Yeah, the Blues are this honestly, they're not getting a crazy amount of shots on that. But like I said, I think that this
there's a penalty coming. I think it's on Dallas, so we're getting it's on Dallas, right?
I think that this actually, if in my opinion, the fact that both teams are playing conservative, I think it actually favors the Blues because of how stagnant the offense has been. So if the Blues can find a way to make Dallas make a mistake and they capitalize on it, they can be good for the Blues.
Absolutely, and that's what I think's been happening here. They have been playing that. Oh, that was absolutely a hold in the stick. Is that what they got him for?
Who was it? Oh yeah, he does. He does.
The guy got a stick. He didn't lift the stick, but he got his stick on stick.
I think he's holding Kyrou's stick. I think that's what it was. I think
I haven't seen the penalty yet, but I think it was a holding the stick.
Yeah, it was. Kyrou. Yeah, you blatantly see it. Yeah, it's a holding.
Yeah, holding. It was a holding on Lundqvist, not a holding the stick, but straight holding.
Oh, okay, yeah. It was Kyrou went in the corner and he grabbed his, but I think he did grab his stick, so it was a holding, but it was just a holding the stick, I think. But
they could have called either one. They could have called holding or holding the stick.
Do they call it that? I thought that it was just holding. Is holding a stick actually a thing?
Yes.
Okay. I was thinking that it was just holding. I thought that holding was just a general sense.
There is a holding the stick. In fact, I remember Kerber at one point, he talked about this a couple of years ago. He said they were at a game, and the booth was like right. The people sat underneath the booth, right? And the referee called a holding the stick penalty, and this lady in front of him said, "Hey, they're all holding the stick."
Yeah.
So anytime I hear a holding the stick penalty, that's what I say. They're all holding the stick.
It's very rare. Do you remember a couple of seasons ago when I don't know if the Blues scored or not. I can't remember, but there was a play where Parayko, I think, or somebody broke their stick and had to get a stick from the defender. I think it might have been Parayko that handed him the stick. And
Tarasenko got a penalty for an illegal stick because he had Parayko's stick and it was too long.
That is, for me, okay, I'm sorry, that is like the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I'm like, and first of all, Parayko, he's right-handed. Tarasenko's a left-handed shot, first off. So he's already at a disadvantage already. I was flabbergasted. I think that for me, I understand why they do it, but I think that was the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
He tipped it in. He didn't shoot it. He tipped it in. Right?
Yeah.
But Parayko, because he is 6'6", is allowed to have a longer stick, like a 2-inch longer stick.
Mm-hmm.
So when another player cannot pick up a player who is under 6'4", I think it is, or whatever the height limit is.
Uh-huh.
Oh, good save by Ottinger there. Cannot pick up and use Parayko's stick. Tarasenko got his stick broke. Parayko gave him his stick to go get another one. Tarasenko touched the puck and put it in the net, and the goal was called back, and a penalty was called for illegal equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Now, while I completely understand what you're saying, I understand the spirit of the law in that one, and I was not upset with it.
Well, no, I wasn't upset with it either.
I would have been upset originally, but now as I've had time to calm and think about it, it was the right call. Yeah. Right? I got to use the restroom again. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. No, you're good. I wasn't upset with that call either, but I was just thinking about that because we're talking about officials and we're talking about refs, and I looked at that and I'm like, God, I hated that call originally. Like I said, I'm kind of with Guy. I didn't hate I'm not like angry, or I wasn't overly angry when it happened, but I was like, man, I think that was just stupid. I understand why they do it, but like he's using his own stick, or he's using Parayko's stick. He's not even a right-handed shot. He's a left-handed shot. Tarasenko was. Booze with good pressure. Yeah, Booze did have some good pressure there, Steve. They were doing some good stuff. Like I said, I think Guy's right. I think they're playing conservative, and I think that conservativeness might play beneficial to them in the end because they're making Dallas make a mistake. And drew a penalty. Yeah, very good. Yeah, they did draw a penalty. It was a weird pen, but fair. What was a weird pen? The pen that Dallas took? Oh, you mean the one that I was talking about? The Parayko one where he holds his stick, or no, he gave his stick, I think, to Tarasenko, and Tarasenko ends up scoring, and then they I was going over the comment because he said that it was weird, but it was fair. Which is right. I had the same consensus too when that happened. Like I wasn't as angry or nothing. We were talking about officials, and that made me think of that call, and I was like, that was a weird call to me, but I understood it.
Again, agreed. Completely agreed. That should have been offsides.
Good save by Benner right there. Bukestad with a little bit of a bad turnover there.
This has been one of the best games the Blues have played in a long time. Maybe going back to that Edmonton game where they shut them out or beat them 2-1 or something like that. The one when I was coming back.
I don't know. I'd say the there was a what was that game? There was a game, couple game. The Carolina game, that was a fantastic game.
Yeah.
The game after that against Tampa Bay, that was a good game. I thought both of those games were pretty good. I think that we missed a couple in there, but yeah, this has been a good game. These two teams, man, they play so defensive, they play so conservative, they play each other really well. This reminds me of the first game that me and Guy went to this season, or not the first game that we went to physically, but the first game that we went to where they won, against Dallas. It was a great game. It was probably their best game of the season, at least up there for one of their best games of the season. And they're doing the same thing in this game. They're both playing very defensive. Oh, very good play by Joseph. What a read by Joseph on that one. Sticks that out of midair when Dallas is trying to throw that puck across D to D.
Oh, good shot.
The Blues are slowly getting.
Sorry, Justin. By the way, congratulations to Steve Ott. He gets his first win as head coach of the Thunderbirds in overtime. Lindstein gets the overtime goal. Theo Lindstein gets the overtime goal. So congratulations, Steve Ott. We're very happy for you here on the BlueNote Fan Report.
Yes, sir. Steve Oddie. Yeah, I do see. Yeah, we talked about that earlier. If anybody was interested in the Steve Ott discussion, we talked about that he's probably, that was pretty much his trajectory. He's probably going to be coming to an end of his time here in St. Louis, and he'll probably get a coaching job elsewhere. Head coach job. So, but that's good for him. I think he deserves it. I think he's like you said, I think he's a player coach. So I think that he would be good for the young guys.
Yeah.
Oh, very good shot by Kyrou. In the slot, I'm liking Kyrou tonight. Kyrou, shooting the puck tonight, not hesitating, just shooting the puck when he needs to.
My question: has Kyrou given up? The answer is no. At least not tonight, right?
Yeah, I don't think he's. For me, I've looked at Kyrou a little different. I don't think he's given up. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I just, since he came back from that injury, he just was not the same dude.
That's a good point. And he may have not been completely healed. I mean, it's the same thing with Holloway, getting some scar tissue broken up and having to go back.
Good play, Neighbors.
Sorry.
Very good play. Neighbors stepped out of the zone there.
Yeah.
Tucker,
nice.
But I just, I don't know if it's like that he didn't fully heal. I just think that since he's been back from that injury, I just feel like he hasn't regained that kind of greatness that he had, because I felt like he was really getting going. Him and Thomas were looking really, really good, and then he went down with that injury, and then he came back, and then it lost all the momentum almost.
Yeah. Bailey says, I don't think people have looked at Kyrou on the puck battles and effort. He may have not been getting the points, but he has been hard on the puck. You know what? I've had people say he wasn't hard on the puck. I've had people say he's just given up, lackadaisical consistently. So, there are people that there is nothing Kyrou can do. If he doesn't do everything perfect, there's nothing he can do that they're going to like. There's not, if he loses the puck, they're going to harp on that. And I'm sorry, I know you don't want to hear this, Dustin, but that all comes back to Berube. I know you say Berube was a while ago, but there are too many fans that just, that's what they think. They think of how Berube was. And did you see what happened to Berube? Do you see his head?
Yeah, I did. Well, no, and I agree with you. I want to preface it because this is what I talked about. This is why I said that Kyrou, I'm thinking that I think Kyrou loves it here in St. Louis. I think he truly meant what he meant when he said that, he loves playing. He wants the best for the fans, and he wants to produce here. And I do believe him when he said that. And I think that although it's been a couple years, I think that still weighs on him. The fact that he can't make a single mistake without everybody calling for his head it gets to a player. at a certain point. And I think Kyrie gets a lot of unwarranted hate. I really, really do. So I don't think it's Kyrie giving up. I think it's just the fans, they need to start believing in Kyrie. Kyrie needs that support. He's not getting that support from the casual Blues audience right now. He needs that support. He needs people backing him. They need people that don't like shit on him every game. I mean, he literally has hundreds of doubters every game. It's ridiculous. I mean, the guy could have a hat trick, and Blues fans, casual Blues fans, will still be bitching about it. It's ridiculous. Oh, good try. I like the try there. Not much there. He didn't have anybody there, but I like the try, Joseph. Decent try. Yeah, this has been a very conservative third period. Both teams are playing very defensive. This has been a very good defensive game. These are the games.
That's exactly what you expect.
Yeah. Well, myself and Guy talked about this. This is a team that is struggled offensively. But the fact that they're playing conservative is actually going to be favorable towards the
great
Blues.
Save, Bennington. Wow.
Let's see here. I haven't seen it yet. Oh, wow. Great save. Great save. Absolutely great save.
Overtime. There's no doubt in my mind this is going to. Bailey, were you on the show at one time?
Ooh.
I think he was, or at least
he was. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was
at
one point.
And maybe I didn't let him. I don't remember.
It was in. I think it was like one of the playoff games, I thought.
It might have been when you first started. Like you came on and he was going to come on right after.
Yeah, it was because we were on together. All three of us were together. So yeah, he was on at one point. But
okay, I thought so. I wasn't sure. Yeah, I was. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bailey. I wasn't sure. Please don't be mad at me.
Yeah, he definitely was on. He like you said, he was on when I was first starting.
Oh, Game 7 last year, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah, and I hope it goes to overtime because this is what I called. I even said this in our pregame. The pregame predictions. I said that I could see this game going overtime, and I'm glad. I'm hoping I'm wrong about the loss, but I did predict a close game, and we have gotten a close game.
I hope you're wrong about the loss too.
Yeah, I hope. But, we both predicted. Yeah, we both predicted a loss, but I kind of looked, like I said, I looked at the lines and I was kind of shaking my head. I was kind of concerned, but
Bennington's very solid in this one. Yeah, he has been. But
yeah,
again, I think Bennington's been solid, a lot better, played better than people have given him credit for. I really do. I know he's had some bad games, but then again, so has Hofer. But I think Bennington has played better, and I do think that for a long period, the team trusted him a little more and played a little looser in front of him. And I don't see that this game. I think they played very tight in front of him.
Well, and I want to say this because he's had a good game, but I want to say this. I will say the Blues have had a good game defensively. They have not allowed Dallas to get a lot of shots. That last opportunity, Dallas has had. They said that Dallas has had like 10 high scoring. I haven't seen it. If I'm honest, I don't know how they calculate that. I mean, from the slot pretty much, but I don't think I've seen that many slot shots. I've seen Bennington make some good saves, but I honestly don't think that there's been a lot of high quality chances in this game.
Yeah.
For either team. I think both teams have been very good defensively.
And good neutral zone play too. I agree, Steve. I've seen that too today. I've seen it. And actually, so this period, the Blues have outshot Dallas 8-4, and they're leading the shot totals 20-19. Right? I'm very impressed with the Blues this game. This would be one, if they do lose, I would call a good loss. You may not like that, but I believe that a loss here would be a good loss.
Well, I'll tell you who won't like that. Our buddy Lance.
Yeah.
He doesn't like that.
He understands what I mean when I say that, but he doesn't. There's I know for a fact, like my buddy E, there's no loss is a loss, And I love you to death, buddy. Believe it or not, I do. But my point is, you can't. So if every loss is bad, then you have to be able to go 82-0. In the NFL, every loss is bad.
Ooh,
Why?
that's right.
Because the possibility of going 17-0 is there every single season. It is.
Yeah.
The possibility of going 82-0 in the NHL or the NBA or going 162-0 in the NFL or in the Major League Baseball is impossible.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're never going to go undefeated. It's gonna be impossible. No, I don't think any team. I mean, has any team ever gone undefeated?
No, not even
No.
close.
So yeah, it's not going to happen. So I think people do raise their expectations and they think, oh yeah, well my team's so good that we're going undefeated. But no, it's just not going to happen. Look at Colorado; they're having a hell of a season, but are they undefeated? No, they're not undefeated.
No.
So
and they've had bad losses and they've had good losses.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
every team does.
That's the way I look at it. And if you don't like it, in this case, I want to say tough titty. Well, look. I want to say this, like a bad loss for Colorado, for example, is the loss to the Predators. They lost. Yeah.
What was it? 8-3. 8-3.
Yeah, that was a bad loss. That was a bad loss. I'm sorry. That was a bad loss. At home. That was their first home loss. Their second home loss of the season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they lost to the Predators. No one expected the Predators to beat them.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a bad loss right there. Like if you're getting blown out, it's probably a bad loss. Bank on a bad loss.
Stephen Glass says Bush at center is not a bad thing. It's taken him a little while because he's never been a center, but he has played better at center. That is true.
Yeah, it's taken him, but it's tough when you're jumping around. You're asking a lot. Center is we've talked about this.
It's much easier for a center to play wing than it is for a wing to play center.
Exactly. I mean, well, and I think Bush came in as a center. Bush came in as a center, but
he's been a wing. He's been a wing almost his entire career.
Yeah, I know. But but that's what I'm saying. I think that they transitioned him to a wing spot, but I think that his expertise in the beginning of his career, like his early career, was I think center. So, they played him as a wing, and it is a lot easier to play a wing position because I think that the most valuable
overtime. Robinson gets one right top shelf.
Oh wow!
Right off the face off. Yeah, I mean, come on, Bennington can't stop that. That was a breakdown in defense there. And people are going to, if we lose this game, if we don't get it, people are going to sit there and absolutely destroy Bennington for giving that goal.
That's a tough one.
Tell me how we stop this.
I haven't seen the replay yet. So
they're showing it now. How do they stop this? He doesn't.
Yeah, it's a good shot by Robinson. It's kind of like he like hesitates at first, like he doesn't pick it up clean at first, and then like he whiffs, and then he like gets the puck back and then shoots. So It's a tough one. It's a good shot. Disappointing. The Blues haven't had a devastating loss like at the end of the period or at the end of like regulation here in a bit here. This is the first time that the Blues here in at least a while have lost the game or may have lost the game in like a minute left in the game.
Yeah.
So they've been pretty good with the down the stretch stuff, like not giving up, goals in the last minute. But here it cost them. And we go back to this icing. They're showing it. Colton Parayko ices the puck here. And they go down and on the ensuing faceoff, they score. All right, so we'll see what the Blues have. Can the Blues tie it up with a minute left? We shall see.
Be nice.
Yeah, it would be nice. It's been a good game. It's been a good defensive game. It's disappointing to see that this game might not go into overtime.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I do not. I mean, I am not uncomfortable with this game at all, or how it's played out.
Nice. Okay, so the Blues have pulled the goalie, obviously. Hopefully, they can go at least 5 minutes with the or 5 seconds with the puck before they put it in the empty net.
50
That's
seconds.
been a thing. Yeah, that's been like a thing for the Blues. They literally they pull the goalie and then they immediately get scored on somehow. So hopefully they can.
In this case, they're pulling the goalie on a face-off, so it's not as bad. But
Oh no, I agree. I'm just saying that there was that game in the last one where they should have beat the Jets, and they pulled the goalie, and then immediately after they pulled the goalie, the puck went in the net.
yeah, well, that's because they pull the goalie at the wrong time.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Very,
they did.
very good at that.
Absolutely.
When they don't
All right.
have puck control,
Nice.
Oh, but
Good
David
play
just missed there. He fanned on it. They're swarming them, but the Blues are good puck control until right there. Need to get one good shot. Icing with 4 seconds to go.
Oh
Good.
man, that was a good chance. You had Ottinger swimming. Huh?
I'm not going to be upset with this one.
No, they had Ottinger swimming. I will say I'm not upset by it. I am a little disappointed. They still have one opportunity. I'm disappointed that they don't at least get a point out of this game.
Yeah, I will say, agree. That's fine. I will be disappointed we don't get the point, but I'm not. But other than that, the Blues played a good game. They lost 3-2.
Dismissed.
They outshot them 21-19. They outshot them this period 9-4. They don't get the point. It's a 4-point game. They don't get any points, and that's unfortunate. But again, I don't feel like. The Blues played them well in this game, and they played them hard.
It's not a bad game. Yeah, not a bad game.
And I know the Bennington Bluebirds are out. I know they're out. Oh my God, Bennington fucking sucks. He lost again. He gave up that goal. There is not a goddamn thing Bennington could have done about that goal. Not a single effing thing he could have ever done about that goal. Not one. Not one.
Yeah, it'll be magnified. We all know it because it'll be magnified because Bennington's in net. So they win with a minute left in the game. So it'll be magnified. We all know that. I'm interested.
That was a defensive breakdown on the. There's three guys there, three Blues guys put their pick sticks on the puck and couldn't get it off of Robinson's stick. That's not on him. Thank you, Steven. We appreciate it. Go ahead, man.
No, I just said I will say the game, it happens with a minute left, so like I said, it will be magnified because it's Bennington in the net, but it was not a bad game. This is the second game that they played the Dallas Stars, and in both games, the Blues played well against a Dallas team that is a very good Dallas team. So I'm disappointed that they lost. I'm disappointed that they lost and that they didn't get at least a point in this game, but first of all, for me, do I think that the Blues deserved a point in this game? Absolutely. I do think the Blues deserved a point in this game. But I'm disappointed they didn't get it, but I'm not upset that they lost because they lost to a good team. They lost to a team in the last minute of the game. That always stings, but what are you going to do? Sometimes you play good and you lose. They played good in the last game and lost.
Yeah. No, disappointing. Okay. Disappointed. Yes. I can say I'm disappointed they didn't take it to overtime. Am I upset they lost? No. Do I consider this what I call a good loss? Yes, this is what I consider a good loss. They played well. A bounce didn't go their way, right? But other than that, and Bennington, I had picked two guys. I said, Kyrou, my question was, had he checked out? The answer is no. My other guy, and I had said, because I didn't know who was going to be in net, I said the goalie was going to be important in this game. And he was, and he played well. Not one of those goals can you turn around and say was on him. He gave up 2 power play goals. Right? Yeah, 2 power play goals. and then an even strength goal in the last minute.
Yeah, I mean, no goals in this game were on any goal. I mean, Ottinger had no chance on his goals. Bennington had no chance on his goals. It was a good defensive game that the Blues probably deserved a better fate. I'm not going to say they deserved to win because I think either team deserved to win in this game with how both teams played. But I think that the Blues, I will say that I'm not going to say they deserved to win, but I'm going to say that they definitely deserved to get at least a point in this game. And they didn't. But
well, man,
I'm not upset.
My cold is starting to really kick my ass.
All right.
I want to talk to you offline, so we're gonna call it a show here. You got anything last minute to say before we go away?
No, not that I know of. Just tomorrow will be a last minute kind of ordeal if we know, if we don't. But definitely tune into the Sunday show. We're gonna have a good guest on Sunday, so hopefully you guys all show up.
Joe Fresta of St. Louis. I think he's in the St. Louis Hockey Hall of Fame. He's a cancer survivor. He has a charity. He used to do, I don't know if he still does, a 1 hour hockey show on I think he used to do it on 550, but 550 doesn't do any local host anymore. So I don't know if he's on 101 or not. He's a good guy. He's a part of the Pasta House franchise. He's part of that family. Smart hockey guy. So it'll be fun to have him on and talk about a whole bunch of different things that we can talk about, especially the locker room. What's going on in the locker room? He might be able to give us some insight into that. This is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, for my famous co-host, Justin Eagle Eye Scott, saying thank you so much for watching the Blue Note Fan Report and Facebook and YouTube. And Justin, I have but one question for you. How do we end this show?
I think we got to see the girls. Where are the girls at?
Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
What are you wearing?
A Canadian tuxedo. And I'm a hockey player. Let's go Blues.
So I have but one more question. Who's late for dinner?
Where are the boys? Where are they at?
Hawaii Blues fan, we're bleeding blue with you. Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues!
This is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, reminding you that I am bleeding blue with you.
And as always, it's Let's Go Blues.
Thank you, Justin Eagle Eye Scott, for the Blue Note Fan Report. We will see you next time. Aloha.